All right. 1, 2, 3, clap. Okay.
Love it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Works every time.
Every time, all the time.
All the time.
I have a good solid clap too. It's one thing I'm proud of myself for.
Heard it here first. Char has solid clap.
I mean,
my clap game
do
is
you have
strong.
a weak clap or a solid clap, Tyler?
I mean, are we talking about chlamydia or are we talking about clapping cheeks?
I'm talking about like good old fashioned, old school hand to hand combat.
Oh, the CQC.
Yeah, hand to hand.
Yeah.
Close quarters combat.
I mean, like, listen, not everything's about like a VD. Sometimes it's just about like touching hands.
Touching hands,
Yeah.
reaching out,
Yeah,
the first step.
touching you.
It really is. Like the
Touching
first
me.
step to intimacy is just a good old clap. It's like a little high five, a little like finger gun. Like the hands are really the gateway to relationships.
What? They can't tell you their names. They can't tell you where they live, but in the mid to late 90s, these 5 teenagers can turn into animals to fight an invading army of evil brain slugs. 5 dumb teens are the only thing standing in the way of complete annihilation. This is Animorphing Time with Nate and Tyler.
Get your hand off my girlfriend, you yerk-brained bastard!
This is for Daddy. Make it like half the bottle.
Catherine Alice Applegate wouldn't want this. Doesn't want this. Blah, 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 blah.
And like they're like, no, stop shooting at children.
Oh man, being 12 was weird.
Please explain.
Welcome to Animorphing Time Relationship Corner.
Oh, yeah, we should do relationship facts.
Yeah,
we're
no,
going to.
dear.
No, not facts. Corner.
Oh, corner.
Yeah, because it's cozy in the corner.
Yeah, we're going to get intimate. We're going to talk about our feelings. We're going to share our loves, our losses.
Join us in the Animorphing Times Relationship Corner. Tyler, touch my hand. You. Oh, gross.
He did not. His hands
Ew.
are so
Oh,
dry.
yeah,
So dry.
No, Tyler,
Why?
yours are unnaturally wet.
It's natural. I promise it's natural.
They equal each other out. It's perfect.
Oh, there's
true.
a guest. Holy shit.
There's always a guest.
Well, I mean, yeah, I know. We schedule guests, and I can see them.
What do you mean, we?
Uh,
I do the hard work of
Yeah.
talking to people. You just get to sit back and put sounds together.
I am the originator of Relationship Corner. I don't appreciate this being talked down to.
Look, we're going to talk this out in Fight Corner.
Be careful with these corners. We only have 2 left.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Well, one of them's the piss corner, right? The piss and
Now
shit
we
corner?
have 1 left. We have.
Oh,
the
are we just going to piss and shit in the middle of this room?
I mean,
Oh,
like,
no.
there's sides. It can be like in between the relationship and fight corner.
So we have artist, badass, horse girl, OG Animorphs fan, Char Reed on Animorphs Time. Char, welcome. Tell us what's up.
What is?
Tell us your thoughts about Relationship Corner.
I do we have 3 hours? Cause
Yeah, we obviously do. You've heard, yeah.
Okay, so screw book 23.
I mean, it's a book about relationships.
I'm gonna do a
It is.
George Costanza-esque sad take on my entire life.
But then again, I've always had a dad bod. Like, I've had that dad bod for at least like 20 years of my life.
It's fine.
fair.
It's a good bod.
The dad bod?
Yeah, look at you.
Yeah, but like, you don't want to be like owning a perennial dad bod. You want to like grow into the dad bod. Like, have the dad bod like be at the apex of the curve there.
We got body issue images corner. That's our last corner.
This evolved
It's
quickly.
fine.
This degraded
So like,
quickly.
okay, we have relationship corner, we have fight corner, we have the piss and shit corner, which Tyler loves. He loves that corner.
Look, it can also be the piss and shit and cum corner. Whatever you want.
It's a bodily fluid
It's the
corner.
body corner.
It's the body corner.
the body count
Our-
corner.
Yes.
But like on the other corner is the body relationship issue. What did you call it?
The body image issue corner.
Right. And our dear bird boy.
No,
Is in
Char
that
hasn't
corner.
got to talk about herself. God damn it.
I'm just saying. It's a teaser for what we're going to talk about because our dear bird boy is in that corner.
Oh,
Yeah, he's in the
yeah.
piss and shit corner throughout the whole book.
He's in all these corners.
He's
So Char, tell us about your relationship with Animorphs. Tell us what you think about the bird boy.
Yeah.
Where did you encounter Animorphs? in
Who
your
are
life?
you? What do you do? Why should we care? There we go.
All right. Well, I can't answer why you should care because I'm still figuring out that myself. But
Fair.
So I am an artist primarily. Like wannabe artist, I guess. Been
No,
trying.
you're an artist. Don't
Well,
say wannabe.
Well, it's not.
So I'm putting on my
it's not
therapist
for-
hat. I'm over here in piss and shit corner, and I'm telling you to be better
I
in your
think
brain.
I'm
Hey,
an
throw it
artist.
around the piss and shit corner. Keep it in the corner.
No,
We're gonna
I
go
believe
from-
in myself. It's all good. It's just when will the rest of the world catch up is my take on it.
Mhm.
But yeah, I've been doing that for since high school, which was 2003. So been a minute.
Yeah, we're also old. It's fine.
Yeah, existential crisis time every night. But yeah, so I've been doing that. I've done. I've worked in the video game industry, though nobody cares, and
Nate cares. He makes video games.
Oh, do you? Okay. Yeah, nobody
It's
cares
true.
about that. God.
No, it's notoriously on the internet. Nobody cares about video games.
Yeah, that's what I've
Especially,
heard.
like, nobody cares when a woman has strong opinions about video games.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely true.
Ugh.
Yeah, there's a reason why I left that whole field.
Yep.
Because the men were so nice.
Yeah. Actually, it was,
Their penises were huge. They were caring. They were good at expressing their feelings. It's all fine. The perfect
Exactly.
man.
yeah, but yeah, I have been trying to, make art my full-time thing, but I'm still working on that. I'm primarily interested in comics right now, and I'm doing my own webcomic called The Golden Troop, so if you want to check that out, shameless plug, and
You think this podcast has shame? Are you fucking kidding
Absolutely
me?
No,
not.
like
No,
I'm
that's why I love
constantly
it.
giving out shame plugs.
We have shame plugs for my head. So good.
yeah,
We have a piss and shit corner. There's no shame
That's
here.
where that's where
no,
they
you
go,
were just
right?
saying that you put it in the corner because of shame.
No, because I don't want to walk in it.
You don't want to walk in it? That sounds like shame to me. Why are you ashamed of your piss and shit corner?
I'm not ashamed. I love every piss. I love every shit. I don't want to walk around smelling like piss and shit.
Let's
Yeah,
take
you
this
guys
to
are
the
reminding
relationship
me.
corner. Really talk about this.
Oh, did you?
Tell us about your four corners.
Yeah. No, I live in an
Let's-
RV, so it's literally 4 corners. It's 23 feet long, and I had a holding tank problem that kept me up all night because I was just worried about it. So
Oh,
So,
no.
so you have a piss and shit corner. is what you're
I
saying.
had you know what I learned today, much like Tobias, to bring it all around, I can handle my shit, my own shit, and it's
That's-
fine. Yeah.
I mean, it's like your baby. You made it.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what? Like if somebody sees you like dealing with your shit, it's not shameful. Sometimes you're so hungry that you eat some roadkill and it's fine.
You know,
It's fine. It's shameful. You don't want to be caught doing that.
later on
I
I
won't.
have another fact similar to this conversation, and it ties all three: the eating, the shit, all of it. So yeah,
All right. Well,
Oh no.
yeah. Well, let's get there. I wanna get and learn about
it's a teaser.
this.
It's a teaser for later.
Man,
Yeah.
other people are so much better at foreshadowing their stuff.
Yeah.
I just rush in.
Well, I mean, like that's your problem, Tyler. You always run into that relationship corner, but you have to work through the fight corner first. I love this self-help book that we're writing. The 4 corners of the human soul.
That's all there are. You know how much money we'd make?
I'd write that book. It
we
can't
could
be hard.
We could be motivational guys.
Fuck, I could write a book.
So, Nate, what are we drinking today?
Because
Because we can't podcast Char without alcohol. Otherwise, I get the shakes and I'll die.
Well, in order to stave off the shakes, we have a celebrated wine from the famous, esteemed. I mean,
Oscar.
Oscar. He
He's-
got the good one.
He's got the good one.
He didn't have no Golden Globe. This is Francis Ford Coppola's 2017 Black Label Claret.
Ooh.
It is a Cabernet Sauvignon.
I know what that word means. It means
Is
cabinet.
Yeah, cabinet, wine cabinet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you the history, but it's,
You don't have to.
I'm not gonna like it's bottled. Sorry, let me give me
Got it at a Safeway. Oh, you probably want that.
No,
bad
I got
boy.
it at Costco. Thank you very much.
Oh, even better.
That's right.
Ooh.
I did realize I forgot the whole segment where I'm supposed to talk about like the part where I like Animorphs.
Yeah, tell us all the Animorph stuff.
Hold on, one more second. Here we go. Oh yeah, that was a good sound.
Yeah.
that was good.
Nate's
That
gonna
was a
pour
good
us
one.
some drinks. Char, you're gonna tell us about Animorphs.
All right. So it's funny that we're actually doing a Tobias book because I definitely saw the original Jake book and then the Rachel book after. and I was not impressed by the covers very much.
They were not David Mattingly covers.
No,
those two.
they were not. And so the first one, I saw them when they originally came out. So this is circa 1996. Little fun fact, the Animorphs would be 36. Because I grew up exactly at the same time that the Animorphs were. I grew up with the Animorphs, like literally. So.
Sure, the Animorphs aren't real.
What?
No, Jake's real. They think of
Jake
every
needs to
book.
be real. But yeah, so I saw the first book, and then I saw the second book come out, and I was interested because animals, and I was like, okay, this seems interesting, I guess. But it wasn't until Tobias's like bomb ass cover came out that I was just like, I had a thing where I loved raptors. Like what third grader, I mean, this is a while before this, but I used to check out the giant animal encyclopedias from the library as a third grader and just read them.
Me too.
Yeah, and then
Like a zoo book or
no, like the hardcore 90s dense information about all the different species of animals that exist in the world.
You are hardcore. Hardcore.
I started off early, and then so in 6th and 7th grade, I was really into raptors, and I had all of the raptor books from the library, and so when I saw a red-tailed hawk on the cover, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that actually is something I want to read. But because I'm a diligent reader, I went and got the first and then second and then third book at that point and just binged the whole thing. Like I
couldn't start in the middle. Like that seems like a nightmare for like
if it's
even
got a number
now,
on it, I need to start from number 1.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to start from the original because otherwise you might be missing out on some obscure character.
Exactly. And I had all I needed was the tiniest push to like actually get into this series, and Tobias was that push for me. Which, funny enough, he was not my favorite character growing up, which is like definitely different than every other Animorphs fan. Everybody loved Tobias, but I was a hard ass on Tobias for some reason my whole entire childhood, and it's like y'all are teaching me to soften up on this poor bird boy because like I was just like, oh, emo kid. Ugh.
Well, here's the thing about Tobias. As we learned in this book, it's easy for anyone in any species to bully him.
It's the haircut. Like, are you like the part in the middle? What are you doing, Tobias? Get rid of that.
No, that part.
Yeah, like
the middle part.
We should get into the actual book, huh?
Well, because I love the cover. Because like how do you like signal a morph when somebody is not a human anymore, right? Obviously, you turn them into a ghost behind in the background. So in this cover, we have the ghost of human Tobias hovering behind the real bird Tobias, morphing into a little bunny.
Yeah, this is Animorphs number 23, The Pretender.
Yeah,
Nate, please tell me your favorite episode of The Pretender.
There are pretenders among us, geniuses with the ability to become anyone they want to be. In 1963, a corporation known as the Center isolated a young pretender named Jared and exploited his genius for their research. Then one day, their pretender ran away.
The only one I really remember is the first one where he becomes a doctor.
That's pretty.
Like he becomes he does that a lot, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
By the way, Char, we're talking about the hit 1990s series, The Pretender.
You know, with Jared, he was a clone. He's
struggling to
I should have
remember.
spoiled it.
He's not Tyler. We don't know that yet. Spoiler cast for the Pretender cast.
God, I want to do the
90s
Pretender
series.
cast.
Oh no, nobody.
Like, here's the thing. It took me a long time to realize that I was kind of attracted to men, and Jared from The Pretender was one of the first men I was attracted to. I'm going to go over to the relationship/fight corner.
Okay,
it's inspiring the mixture of those feelings in me.
Is it wrong that I have more fondness for the early 90s TV show, The Early Edition, than The Pretender?
Yes, Early Edition sucked. The Pretender ruled.
Early Edition had a time-traveling cat that would bring a newspaper from the future. What are you talking about, The Pretender?
Oh, my God. The
Early
Pretender
Edition
had a bad guy with no thumbs, and that was his big downfall.
What was that era of television? What was happening?
It was fantastic.
Sunday, on an all-new Third Rock, it's the aliens' first bachelor party.
Well, hello.
In a place you won't believe. Oh, yeah! But hey, they can handle it.
Now, about The Pretender.
All right, back to what really matters.
Yeah. That is actually, there is actually a very first note that I noticed, the first sentence in the whole entire thing, where you want to talk relationship corner. Okay, here we have a relationship between a bird boy and a 13-year-old girl now, and the first thing that Tobias says about her is that she was obnoxious. Now, past tense, she was obnoxious, but I just made special note of like that is the first thing that he says about her. So I don't know. That feels poignant for some reason.
But like that never feels weird to me. That feels like a sitcom thing. I've never been attracted to somebody I was annoyed with.
Really?
That might just be a me thing. I don't know, but like. In general, I'm attracted to people that are not annoying, that I enjoy their company. But then again, he says was. So, you know, I'm just saying that, like, that's not a normal thing. You don't get attracted to people that are annoying.
You don't.
It's true, I don't.
I, for one, love Fran Drescher.
Yeah! It's fine. It's all right.
No, it's not. And I'm not going to Atlantic City.
Oh, shit. I'm very attracted to the nanny.
Shit. The nanny.
Mr. Sheffield.
No.
But do you find it annoying or do you find it endearing?
It's annoying.
Okay.
It's so annoying. I hate her voice. But oh man.
Everything else.
Something about that big Italian hair.
Yeah, but you wouldn't marry Fran Drescher.
Well, yeah, she's rich.
I'm a little inside for money. But like, okay, how about this? You wouldn't marry the nanny, you as Mr. Sheffield.
No, probably not.
You marry.
She does take care of my kids, and I'm a very important businessman.
We're not talking about the nanny. We're talking about Animorphs, the other 90s
The
vehicle.
Pretender. Animorphs, the Pretender.
The real thing we're talking about?
We should point out, before we jump into Animorphs, this is a very special book. Char, do you know why this is a very special book?
Why is this a very special book?
Because this was the first one ghost written.
Oh, this is it.
Is that why Tobias is a ghost on the cover?
It's a spooky ghost.
Because it's ghost written. He's there to signify the ghost in the book.
Because
Who's it
the first
dedicated
page
to?
says the author would like to thank Michael Mates for his help in preparing this manuscript. For Tanya, Alicia Martin, also for Michael and Jake. I tried to find Michael Mates on every social media. Couldn't do it.
What about Tonya Alicia Martin?
I don't care.
I am not human. I was a human once. I was born a human. There are human characteristics within me. And I can become a human for 2 hours at a time, but I am not human. Tobias, Chapter 1, Animorphs, the Pretender.
Thank you.
This is a book about not being human. Well, watch out.
That's the end.
Well, I mean, like, you know, Tyler, I'm sure sometimes you feel like, you know, I don't feel like I belong to the human race. I feel different.
Especially at work now these days.
Yeah, like everyone around me is different. I'm special in that, like, I don't feel like I belong. These are not my kind.
Yeah.
Terminally unique.
Right. Not terminally unique, but unable to connect is how I would describe it. I wouldn't say that it's me being unique or special. I'd say that I am unable to connect a lot of times. Why did you single me out? This sucks.
Well, you were right across from me, and it seems rude to say that to Char. So, yeah, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, okay, yes. I often feel out of place and like I don't fit, and I have a lot of shame meals. I'm sorry.
It's because you don't fit. You should leave. No, but, like, everyone feels that way. What are you talking about? Like, everyone has the feeling of, like, you know, I'm surrounded by all these people, but they're not like me. I am 100% different from them.
You know, some people are actually happy. We don't know any of them.
No, but I'm saying, like, it's a common feeling, right? Tobias is not unique in having this feeling of not feeling. Like,
no, but Tobias is a unique boy.
He does have a special situation, though.
I mean, yeah, agreed. He has a
different
better
than-
excuse. He has good justification for saying he's not human, because he is, in fact, a bird.
But also, he's isolated. He's alienated. And something from his human life is coming back to bite him in the ass.
Oh, shit.
A bully. Tobias has a bully in his life as a hawk. There's another hawk in his meadow, taking all of his food, being an asshole.
I mean, like, okay. The bird is not purposely bullying Mr. Tobias Bird.
No. The bird is doing what birds do.
Bird's hungry. Bird's got to eat.
Bird's hungry.
And
Bird's
Tobias
got to
knows
eat.
that. Tobias knows
He
the
does.
bird's gonna bird. Like he's not anthropomorphizing this bird. He's like the bird's being more of a real bird than I ever will be.
He learned that lesson with Price Cup Polly, that birds, in fact, do not have human feelings.
Yeah, and he doesn't know what to do. He says, I could confront the other hawk, red tail to red tail. We could fight it out. Only I don't. I don't do anything. Pretty soon he'll make a move on me, push me aside. Maybe then I'll have to figure out what to do. But right now, I don't do anything. I just go hungry. I could go to the others for help, to Rachel and the other Animorphs, my friends, but how weak is that? How can I go begging for help to deal with the situation? I should be able to handle myself. I sat on my branch in my tree and watched the dry grass.
So he's doing the toxic masculinity dude things. Like, I can't ask for help. I don't want to be weak.
Oh, I
did
don't
that
even know.
today.
Yeah.
That's
But
just
like,
I wouldn't
okay.
paint that so much as toxic masculinity. I
Well,
paint that as depression and the inability to ask for help.
I don't know. I like well, ultimately he doesn't want to ask for help because he doesn't feel secure in his position with the rest of his extended universe, right? He doesn't feel
The Tobias.
Yeah,
the TCU.
The TCU. He doesn't
TCU.
feel secure in the TCU, right? Because, well, and I think a lot of it is just like he doesn't want to feel weak in front of the other human Animorphs, right? Why doesn't Tobias go for help?
He's never been able to.
Okay.
Growing up as
But,
a
like,
kid, he had no safe support.
Okay.
At school, he was bullied. He didn't even really have friends until he met an alien that turned him into an Animorph. Tobias doesn't ask for help because he doesn't know how to, and he doesn't think he can. And this book illustrates that he often cannot.
Yeah. Okay.
Should he be able to? Yes, absolutely. Does he? No, absolutely not. If you do not have the skills, you can't just summon them. It's like I can look at a carbonara, and I don't know how milk fits into spaghetti, but I know somehow it does. It's the same thing as asking for help.
But he acknowledges that he wants to ask for help, but he can't.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to seem weak. Because he would be the first to help any of the other Animorphs. I think we might all be able to agree with that.
Sure.
But he doesn't see them as weak for asking for help, but he sees himself as weak for asking for help.
I relate to this so hard. I relate to this on a different kind of level, like way more now than I did as a kid. Because I was always like, as a kid, I had like Cassie's life, like I had the life where my dad read this series with me when they came out. Like I read it first, and then I passed it to my dad, and then he read it, and then he passed it to my sister.
And then your dad would make some awesome chili, and
it was great. It was great. I literally had just about literally had Cassie's life in the sense of like parents that were together and a sibling. Cassie has a sibling. I don't know. But yeah, so it's different now because I actually am more alone than I was back then, and so I read this in a different context, probably not through exactly Tobias's lens, but just the lens of God, I feel so bad for him because as somebody who has a situation that it's a little bit of a situation, if all your friends are married and have kids and you don't have either, then you also feel like the outcast, and it's much different than his situation of being half bird, half human, which literally none of the others can relate to. And if they try, all they can think about is where they almost became a Nephlit and then are traumatized from that. And he probably doesn't want to re-traumatize them with the idea of them having almost suffered his own fate.
Yeah, he thinks they see him as pitiable, and he sort of, I would say that he leans into that, saying well, they already pity me. They're not going to help me. They see me as weak. I'm their worst nightmare. What I am is their worst nightmare. Why should I come to them with my problems?
Well, what makes it even more nefarious is that there's some justification for that, right? Because he is their worst nightmare.
Yeah.
It's not like him self-aggrandizing his faults. he is in the position where he is pitiable, right? He's a sad story ultimately, right? And
yeah, he's a tragedy.
but like he rejects that notion, right? And like he rejects any form of pity, right? Which is asking for help or asking for support or talking to anybody,
Right.
Or like I think ultimately Tobias chooses to be alone. He chose to be alone when he was a human kid. Like he just kind of accidentally wandered into this group, right?
Yeah.
So, he brings along with him this idea of I take care of my own problems, right? Because he is a loner. He's a lone bird. I was about to say wolf, but no, he's a bird.
That's Cassie.
Cassie's
Yeah.
the wolf. but
Always.
and I think that it's like a combination of he doesn't want to seem weak because he needs to be self-sufficient because he knows he can be left alone at any point.
Yeah.
Right. So he needs to be self-sufficient because he can't depend on people to be there.
And
Yeah.
So if somebody say were to show up and offer support, that would change everything.
yeah,
We'll get to we'll
get to that. But I think the thing that's setting off this dread in Tobias, and one of the better narrative things about this book, is this other hawk.
This fucking asshole.
This asshole normal hawk who shows up and is 100% pure hawk. That is the most hawk a hawk could be.
Yeah.
So Tobias sees the symbol of what the most hawk can be, and then he sees his friends what the most human can be.
Tobias got bird social media where he sees all of, like
FOMO.
all his friends so much better than he is, and like, oh shit.
I was gonna try to make some pun, like he's got anamorphile dysfunction, because like everything
He just can't.
he just stops working because it's like nothing works.
Yeah, I get like that's what happens, right? He tries. So there's this.
There's a rabbit with some babies.
Family of rabbits in this meadow that he was gonna like pick off like a couple of baby bunnies because he acknowledges that like yes they are cute but I'm hungry.
Right.
But when he swoops in to grab them, he starts seeing flashes of himself being the prey, being the little baby bunny being picked off by red-tailed hawk, and he fucks it up and he like eats dirt. Where the other hawk swoops by, takes a couple sweet snacks and flies away.
Yeah, the Chad Redtail takes the baby and it's like, fuck you.
Because he doesn't think anything.
No,
right?
he's just
He's just like snack out. Like that's all birds. I mean, again, like I'm sure birds have feelings, right? But like, not
Bird
the
was
way
like,
that a
opportunity
human
to
has.
go now. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Birds don't have like anxieties about being bunnies, right?
Right.
They don't have those dreams. Dogs do not dream about being other things that are not dogs. Right?
well.
No, they don't. Like they chase bunnies in their dreams, certainly, but like they don't dream about being like a person.
I do.
Well, yeah, because you're a person. You
You
dream
dream
about
about
being
I'm
a
being
a
a
dog.
person?
Well,
Yeah,
because
I'm a dog who dreams about being a man.
I definitely
Because
had
we got
hawk
those,
dreams
like-
where I am. A
yeah,
hawk.
I mean, like, well, humans are unique and special in that we can, pretend that we're something that we're not. And maybe like some gorillas, I'm sure out there too, like have that dream of being like a crocodile.
So Tobias wanders off, and he's hungry. He has not been eating. He's losing weight. He feels like shit. He's depressed. He doesn't ask for help.
It's midnight. There's nothing in the fridge. What do you do?
You go eat a dead raccoon in front of your girlfriend.
Not on purpose.
Yeah, Tobias knows there's a freshly killed raccoon nearby. He flies to it, and he's like, well, this'll do. It's still warm. That's good. I'll at least stay alive. When he hears the angelic little voice of Rachel say, Tobias? And he locks eyes with Rachel
Man.
and just bones out.
Char, have you like had a crush on somebody and done something like completely and utterly embarrassing and shameful right in front of them?
Not
Like,
even that.
asked-
Has
or
your
it declared that I have 6 E's in my name? Like,
Well, no, I mean like, you sitting there just like eating garbage out of a garbage can.
It's not even
Not
that.
quite
It's
that
when
bad.
someone, like when a partner finds you doing something shameful.
Yeah.
Like, you ever been caught by your partner masturbating?
No.
and then they're
Okay.
weird about it.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, none of us. I don't know why I thought of that. Weird. None of us have ever had it. It wasn't weird, and I had some explaining to do. It's fine. And it wasn't even to like pornos and stuff. Because I don't.
Let's get into it. Let's talk about it.
Okay, we're going to.
I gotta be careful
We're going
about
to.
this wine.
We're going to relationship corner.
Okay, let's head on over to the relationship corner.
Relationship corner. I wasn't even like watching a pornography.
Yeah. Okay.
I
tell me
wasn't
more.
watching any films. I wasn't looking at any pictures. I didn't even have my phone out.
It's okay. You can trust me here in relationship corner.
I was going pure for a third eye jack. You know what I mean?
Do that in the piss and shit corner. Don't do that. In
Well, I know it's the piss and shit and body stuff corner. It's fine. Like I'll start in relationship and then when I'm about to be done, I'll run over to the piss and shit corner.
Whatever you do not take that to the fight corner.
No, and she caught me pleasuring myself.
Okay.
And she's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, well, either you're very stupid or.
Well, I mean, like.
And it was uncomfortable. It's weird. She's like, "Well, why didn't you just ask if we?"
Yeah, like.
And I'm like.
But that's like I'm busy.
Yeah, it's like.
I have shit to do today. I don't have time for this. I get it.
You were doing stuff, and I was bored, and when I get bored,
yeah, no, like you don't have to explain it. I think it's totally understandable.
I mean,
but like the
shitty metaphor aside, getting caught doing something shameful by anyone is terrible. Like night eating, you sneak out, you have a little snack at night, you get caught doing that, no good.
I got caught eating food off the floor.
Yeah, today by me. I watched you do it.
Yeah, but I know you. I'm not trying to impress you.
What?
This is also
always
all
trying to
hard
impress
for
you.
me to relate to because I don't feel shame about any of this stuff.
Oh, you
So
don't eat food on the floor? like an
30,
animal?
30-second rule, man. 15-minute rule. I mean, it's whatever. It's a dog eat dog world out there. You gotta survive.
Well, and also like if it's just you, like I would eat food out of the trash. Like if
Oh yeah, sure, I have.
yeah,
As long as
like
it's
where you
on
accidentally
top,
throw something
like
away.
on
It's
the
like that's
very
still
top.
good. Yeah, just on the very top.
Just a little trash on top.
I'm a little bit gross. It's fine. I'm fine with it. See, relationship corner. When you've been alone long enough, then it's like I hear all this stuff, and I'm like, people are weirded out by that. What? Like I don't. Huh? Okay.
Let's just say that I think COVID has really lowered our standards for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
My personal standards are in the trash.
It's 2024. What's COVID? That's joke for future listeners.
Oh, hey. Welcome to the present, future listeners. But anyways, shit, I was going somewhere and this is gone now. I'm thinking about all these future listeners.
I'm sorry.
Liver raccoon.
We were talking about
A piece
shame.
of liver raccoon was in my mouth. I swallowed it.
Yeah, does Rachel care? Does Rachel care about this?
No.
No.
I don't think she
She
does
says
because
as
I
much
think.
later.
Well, yeah, and like even if you know anything about Rachel as a person, you know that she wouldn't care because she is the type of person that like likes being in the shit, right? And I think she acknowledges something in Tobias, like Tobias is in the shit, and I think that's even why she likes Tobias is because Tobias's life is a challenge, and she sees that and respects that.
I think she wants to fix it too. I think she's got a fixer kind of
Oh,
personality.
I never thought about that. I don't know if I agree with that. Though.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Later in the book, when she's like, "You should be a human so we can go on dates."
Oh, yeah. I don't know if that's fixing though. We'll talk about that. There's a whole conversation there.
Yeah,
we'll
get
get
there.
to
We'll
that.
get there.
We gotta hold off on that one because they have a talk. But anyways,
There's a
the
chat.
state of the relationship. Yeah.
anyways, Tobias accidentally gets caught in the piss and shit corner by Rachel. He flies away ashamed.
And he just takes off. He does his thing. He flies around. It's when Jake stops by. He says, "Hey, yo, Rachel wants to talk to you."
And he's like, "Oh God."
He's like, "Oh God, she saw me. I knew she saw me."
Well, again, also Jake bringing this up in the worst possible way. Rachel wants to talk means something completely different than what actually happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody goes up to you and says, "Tyler, we need to talk."
I'm scared every time I hear that from anyone.
Yeah. And not even Nate, you saying you want to talk to Tyler. Like if a mutual friend of both y'all's came up to Tyler and was like, "Nate wants to talk to you." Like that's like even worse because it's like a third person is
like,
involved.
That'd be worse.
Char, Tyler needs to talk to you.
Oh God.
Right, like
that scared me.
Yeah, it's like Tyler, watch out. You are saying something, right? Because like
I need to go to the
Jake
piss and
does
shit
not
corner. Hold
acknowledge
on.
that this means something. That Jake is not a person of subtext; he's a person of text.
Yeah,
super
he's all
text.
Although he's getting more subtle, like General Patton, wouldn't you agree?
No,
Books.
Patton.
Oh, these books.
Anyways,
With Patton these nuts with his mouth.
Yeah, the thing that Rachel really wants to talk about is
Tobias' cousin is here.
Yeah.
Her name's Arya.
Arya has been asking around for Tobias.
She killed off all the ice monsters and dragons, and she's
What?
over from Westeros.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
like, why don't
She's a
you
little
come
badass
be king
with that
of
dagger.
yeah, come be king of incest land.
Hello, I'm Arya Stark.
Hello, Arya. My name's the Hound.
They should have all had Cockney accents. It would have been great. But like, yeah, no, like Tobias's surprise mystery cousin who just got back from a shoot, not a shoot, but a photography
lion
shoot.
shooting.
Yeah.
A canned hunt. No.
She's back from a lion shooting.
Yeah, she's back from shooting in Africa.
God.
No, like she was a photographer in Africa. She came back. She's like, I want to find my cousin Tobias.
She tells the lawyer, like the lawyer's looking for Tobias.
Right, like everyone's looking for Tobias, and Rachel, like, and the gang obviously are like, this seems like a trap to catch Tobias in something. They know he's an animorph.
But they know that, but they're also, well, it could also be your cousin. Maybe this is a home for you. Maybe you can finally have a family.
Well, I mean, Tobias is thinking that. I think the Animorphs are more skeptical.
Oh, even
than,
Rachel
than
says
hopeful.
that.
Yeah.
But Rachel's the one who says this may not be a trap. It smells like a trap. It looks like one. But Tobias, maybe have you for a second maybe even considered this could be something called hope.
Yeah.
Something called family. See?
His home is the meadow. What are you talking about? He has problems at home, and like the problems are another bird is in it.
Yeah, he has problems at home, but he also can't stop thinking about hope.
Well, it's more like Tobias has never had a home, right?
Yeah.
So the idea of a home is foreign to him. Like that's what he means. Like when he's like, "What do you mean, take me in?" It's like, no, you get a home. It's like, what's a home? What is that?
So Tobias.
Moving on.
Tobias goes to the lawyer. This is the lawyer of de Groot.
De Groot.
They go out of their way to say it's de Groot. I knew you would do this.
Groot. I am Groot. Remember that?
No. This is Italian Groot. I'm de Groot.
Remember, like, yeah, it's the tree guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old tree guy.
Yeah.
I'm de Groot.
No, mine was better. Italian Groot is de Groot.
Netflix,
So
no
he
ad.
goes into this lawyer's office
De
and
Groot.
into I am Groot.
I'm Groot.
Groot. It's funny because he can only say his name.
He
goes in.
checks in with his buds. They put together their secret codes. He goes in the lawyer's office and he's like, "Hello, Mr. de Groot. I'm Tobias.
Yeah, and like the thing is, like a lot of this conversation is very stilted. He mentions that he kind of forgot how to be human.
Yeah,
a
he
little
doesn't know how
bit.
to move his face. He's like, oh, I bet normal humans would have feelings right now. They'd be able to show emotion.
Yeah, and like everyone's kind of confused by it. Like he has a weird like interaction with the receptionist before he even talks to de Groot, where the receptionist's like, "What do you? Hey kid, like what are you doing here?" And he just like kind of robots his way through it. De Groot offers him a soda, and like he's just like so thrown off by that conversation that he just like yells out Pepsi.
Diet
Pepsi.
Coke.
Oh, sorry, it was Coke, wasn't it?
Yeah, Diet Coke.
I'm
And
sorry,
is
Pepsi
it, is it
fans.
technically de Groot? Is that it?
It is
Because
de
it
Groot.
rhymes
Yeah,
with
they make a
Groot.
point to say it's de Groot.
Which
Nate-
I appreciated as a kid reading this. I was like, I have no idea how to say that.
Like, listen, I don't care. I don't care. I'm
We
like
know.
I'm just gonna rewrite this in my brain. Like you can try to convince me that his name is de Groot, right? Or
Or
like,
Aldrea.
yeah, but like really like.
Or a Lauren.
Right. Like the power of like being a person who's just reading a book is that you can just call him whatever you want.
Hello, my name is Tobias. He's a little robot.
Yeah. So he orders a Coke. He gets a Coke. He's surprised by the taste of Coke because he kind of forgot what that is.
Because it's delicious. Coke is
It's
way better than
cold.
Pepsi.
Especially
It's
if you haven't had a
cold.
Coke in like how many months has he been up here? 6.
Yeah.
I'll say. Like yeah, he hasn't had a Coke in 6 months. Ooh.
Ooh, can you imagine?
Oh.
Oh. Suffering. Ugh.
Oh.
Oh.
And birds don't
The
even
fuck are
really
we
drink.
doing?
They get
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of their fluids from the stuff they eat. So like drinking cold water, having anything cold in your mouth at all is like a total foreign feeling for him.
Yeah, I suppose
And
if,
he even says he feels a little bit like Axe.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
suppose if you've been eating rats for the last like 6 months, maybe a Coke would taste pretty good. Oh, so I've been drinking rat blood for the last 6 months. This has been way better than rat blood.
Man, all I've had these last 6 months is just gruel. It's good to get my mouth on some pussy.
I mean, if you think about it, like, also, like, you get why Axe is, like, way into, like, human food, because all he's been doing, he's been tasting the floor for, like, all of his life. He's
Worms,
eating his own shit.
cigarettes,
the
rocks.
occasional ladybug.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you, there's not a better combo than cinnamon roll and a cigarette, if we're being honest, for breakfast.
Okay, yeah, but what about, like, a rat and a Coke? So anyways, this dumb lawyer, this definitely not compromised lawyer says, I represent your father's estate.
Yep. Your real father.
What do you mean, real father?
Huh?
Well, I mean, like, Tobias doesn't know the secret that we, dear listeners, know, which is Tobias's father is, in fact, an Andalite. And, like, you know, Tobias is intrigued, but he's not, like, he's playing off the, like, jaded teenager thing really well
Yeah.
because he's a jaded teenager.
Yeah.
And
We spent the last 6 months killing for food
right, so it's
and being traumatized and
not
sent back in time.
yeah, Tobias makes a point saying, like, I'm putting on an act here to you know, act as, like, a street tough.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's just that now. I think he acts that way because he is that way. And he just doesn't want to admit that he's a street kid now.
I mean, there's that, and later in the book when he's trying not to show any emotion at all, it's like, dude, you probably don't even have to try. You probably don't show emotion. Like, yeah, you'll feel it, but you're so destroyed and beaten down by war that, no, you're not going to show emotion.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, he's playing the jaded teenager role because he is. And, you know, the lawyer says, I'd like to read you this will, but I can't until it's your birthday.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, today must be my birthday. But he's like, oh, I don't remember when my birthday is.
Oh,
When
shit.
is my birthday? And I actually checked it out. I think he was, like you said, a hawk for, what, 6 months now? 6 months to a year or something?
Sure.
And it's like, I thought at first, how is it you've been in this form for 6 months and you can't remember your birthday? I mean,
But he has a
seems weird
different
to me.
brain, too.
He
right?
does
Like,
have a different brain, and then it dawned on me even a more sadder reality that no one celebrated his birthday ever,
Yeah.
and so he didn't remember because it wasn't ever an important or special or happy date for him.
if you
So
don't
it
have a
wasn't worth
special birthday,
remembering.
then nobody cares. Like,
Yeah.
like you don't
Yeah.
remember things that are just, like, come and go.
So I don't have birthday parties. It's like, I never had birthday parties.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It just becomes another day, which is incredibly sad for people that, you know,
Yeah, we don't really celebrate birthdays
you know.
because, you know.
I buy
which-
I buy myself a steak.
Oh yeah, like I'll eat a whole pizza by myself. But it's like we don't have parties. We don't have birthday weeks. We don't have any of that shit.
Yeah, so, like, things are looking bad for Tobias. But at this point, he leaves because he has all the information he needs. He knows, he figured out it wasn't his birthday today.
Yeah,
That-
he's like,
that's
all
all
right,
he need-
fine.
Yeah. And so he heads out the door and he starts walking away down the pre-planned route that the old Morphy Boys have put together.
We're the
from-
Morphy Boys. They're the Animorphs.
Morphy Boys.
The Morph Gang,
It's not the Morph Gang.
the M Gang,
It's the name of the books.
the Animorphs, the Animal Morphs.
Yes, the Animal Morphers
Yeah,
planned this.
they did. They planned an escape route for Tobias to walk down so they could, kind of debrief.
And wouldn't you know, he's being followed.
Oh shit! By
Someone.
a spooky goon.
A spooky goon.
I mean, like, yeah, who is he being followed by? Who
A
is
spooky goon.
Yeah. So he gets followed into a sticky situation.
Yeah, he does what any person being followed should do, and that's goes to Applebee's.
Right. Listen, if listeners, if you're being followed by a scary man, go into an Applebee's.
They're a safe place. For
They're
you.
that's right.
Applebee's. What makes a honey of a deal? Our amazing new honey pepper sauce. It makes honey grilled chicken and honey pepper steak a taste of honey heaven.
Listen, Applebee employees, let me in your back room. I want to see where the magic happens.
Yeah,
I want that
Applebee's
steak
employees,
fresh. Just put
let
it right
me
into my
in.
mouth.
Let me in there, Applebee's employee, or I'll give you a mudslide, if you know what I mean.
Oh man. Yeah. So Tobias loses the goon, scary goon, by going through the back of Applebee's and just kind of ducking out that way, which works.
Yeah, it works. He says, I could go regroup with my friends, but instead, I got to get my head right.
Yeah.
And he flies away.
Instead of letting them know what happened, he just fucks off to the woods to, I guess, be a bird because that's what he is, right?
Tobias is a bad friend.
No, he's in a spot.
Well, he showed a couple of them that he was there. He demorphed and he kind of like flew off, and he knew a couple of them saw them and they let him go.
And he says, I should have met with the others. That was the plan. But once I was back in the sky, I just didn't want to. I didn't want to sit down, explain it all to them. I guess, too, I didn't want to have to deal with Cassie's hopefulness and Rachel's concern and Marco's abrasive skepticism. I didn't want it all analyzed and picked apart. I knew the routine. Cassie would make me go over everything word by word, gesture by gesture, expression by expression. Cassie has an amazing talent for understanding other people and their motives. She would want to understand all she could about DeGroat.
A little earlier, he mentioned temptation, and it kind of made me think that, like, maybe he thinks he didn't deserve to have nice things in his life.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of going back to his, lack of self-confidence and everything. So, all of this is, like, bringing up all of that stuff. All of it.
Oh, yeah,
like, all at the same time.
For sure. He says, this was mine, my problem, my hope. Like, hope is a problem.
Yeah, he's letting hope in, and he doesn't like it. He's scared of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Because, what if you're not all these bad things you've told yourself you are?
Well, and hope is undependable. You can't depend on
It's
hope.
a candle in the wind. You can't depend on it.
And what if you're disappointed by hope every single time?
Which
like,
Tobias
every
has
time
been.
You're hopeful. Yeah, like, it's not just that hope is, something to be mistrusted. It's that he has good reason to mistrust it because it has let him down every single time. Oh, maybe the Elemist will do right by me and actually give me what I actually want, what I actually meant when I asked for my old life back. And no, it's a trick. He decided to just give me my morphing ability back. Thanks, Elemist, you jerk.
Is there ever hope that is not precluded by, I think I'm going to be disappointed? Like, have you ever felt like really hopeful and it's like, yeah, no, this is going to work out perfectly?
No.
No, like, I think hope by definition is that, like,
hope always has a little knife.
Yeah, hope has always a little knife, and it's there just
like
like make little cuts on you because it's just like, yeah, you little bastard, I'm gonna trick you into thinking things are gonna be good. They're not.
Haha.
and like, because when hope is real, it's just reality. It's just a good thing happened, right? Like, but like, this is still like uncertain, and he doesn't know how to deal with it because he doesn't like it. He doesn't like that level of uncertainty because he's used to things being bad, and he knows how to handle things being bad.
He's comfortable with things being bad. He's always been bad. When he became an Animorph, like, oh, there's a new hopeful purpose in my life in the galaxy. Oh, surprise, I'm trapped as a bird. I'm the worst Animorph.
Yeah, but I
have the least amount of power, the bottom of the chain.
But it's also the devil he knew, right? Like, he knows having a bad life. He knows that really well.
He does.
But he doesn't know, like, having a secure home life and, like, knowing who your father is.
Yeah,
right? Like,
the Leave It to Beaver shit. He doesn't have any of that.
He doesn't know that. So, like...
Sorry, Leave It to Beaver, for our younger listeners, is like the first episode of WandaVision.
Or the first episode of The Angry Beavers.
No.
Remember that show?
I actually have seen all of Leave It to Beaver. I've watched all of it with my family. Recently.
Oh, Jesus.
So what's it like being in a cult? I think we really need...
To a growing boy, there are some emotions you can take in your stride.
Right now, Tobias being a bad, depressed friend.
Right, and saying, like, all right, it's time to go find the other plot here in the Horkbajur village. And
I'm going to fly to this town of monsters.
Again, I had such a good time last time. Here's such a nice, fun story full of hope and adventure.
They told me a nice story.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. He knows he's not going to be picked apart by the Horkbajur.
Yeah,
like,
he knows they're too dumb to, like, pick up on his problems.
There's like, oh, friend is here. Hi. Which kind of rules.
Yeah.
I wish I had a friend that was just like, hi.
I'm right here.
Just happy to see you.
Yeah, but like,
just
you
like
want to talk about
a
shit.
small creature that's like furry that just, you open the door and every single time it's like the first time. I'm just talking about dogs.
Yeah. It's like, it's like a Horkbajurs are just like, he went to like say hi to his dog friends. It's just like, shit, yeah, I want to throw a ball. Hell yeah. I don't want to talk about my life.
Right.
I just want to talk about like what bark is like, what tastiest cut of bark there is, or
bark
your
is
weird
awesome.
seer friend.
Yeah, your seer goddess who has my name.
Yeah, so Toby.
It was named after me.
But Yeah, so good old Toby.
He flies there expecting just to pet some dinosaur monsters from another planet.
Yeah, just chill out and like stare at a fire, which sounds great.
Yeah. I mean, that does sound good.
Yeah, right?
Let's burn down an Applebee's and stare at
fun.
it.
Like, I'm so much... Like, if there's a Applebee's that's on fire, blame us for it. We did it.
We did it. If there's ever been an Applebee's on fire, we did it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so Toby has turned into a 2-year-old, 1-year-old, like 4-month-old Hork-Bajir gorilla leader.
They grow up fast. We learned that.
Yeah, because
they have to.
they have to because they're fighting a gorilla war
Are they really
against
like
a
dogs? Do they really only have like 15 years or something?
I mean, probably, yeah.
I mean, Toby really is like a month old, 2 months old,
something like that.
When they saved, Cat
Hellpack and Chara Hami.
Yeah.
I mean,
God, I love them.
Tobias only
great.
got his morphing powers back like a couple months before, so
yeah.
So
it's only been 2 months.
Yeah.
So
smart kid.
I'm like thinking that night, Cat Hellpack and Chara Hami was just like,
oh,
went
you
to
know,
town.
because they had to stare at each other, but they couldn't like do anything, right? Like
Yeah, they had a cloacal kiss or two.
Yeah. It's like
or 4, yeah. God, you remember when you could have sex that many times in a row? Yeah, me neither.
What sex?
Oh.
Huh?
Well, let's
a man needs to prove to a woman.
Which is it in the fight corner or is it in the relationship corner?
It's that blending
of
the two,
shit
man.
And piss corner.
Oh shit! It's in the middle.
It's in the middle because there's body image issues too.
That's right.
Oh no.
The best relationship is in the middle of the 4 corners.
Let's write this fucking book.
Yeah. Oh man, you want to write
the
a self-help
Venn
book?
diagram.
I kind of do.
It would be so funny. It would only have to be 5 chapters long.
4.
No.
Well, 1 introduction.
For the middle.
Okay, 6. 1 in the middle. 'Cause you got to write about the middle. How that's the fuck spot.
Malcolm in the middle.
And depending on which corner you come from, depends on how powerful that fuck spot is.
All right, hold on. We got to talk about Toby. So like, Toby is like this tiny terror of a gorilla leader, which I kind of love, right? Because it's just like
Toby's their seer.
Yeah, well, you know what? Toby is like an animorph, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because like, I imagine like it's equivalent of like a 13-year-old girl in Hork-Bajir age, right? And she's like, yeah, we've been raiding this Yerk pool to get our.
There's a Yerk facility nearby. We're not telling you where it is.
And I'm like, well, why not? Just tell the Animorphs. They'll help you. But
it's not about that.
It's not about that.
They have been leading raids, getting captured Hork-Bajir, bringing them back, and building a little city. So they've got, I mean, it's an orgy.
30. They had like 30.
30.
I would say like
30's an orgy. What
Well,
do you need 60 at yours?
I'm just saying they're not all doing it, Tyler. They have shit. They have bark to collect. They're not just fucking the entire time.
I mean,
they have an army.
Some of
they
them
have
are
to be
only
doing
2
army
months
shit.
old.
They're doing army. Tyler,
Some
honestly,
of them are planning battles. Okay, like.
Yeah, there's no time for romance because I feel like this village is at war, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they don't trust the Animorphs completely. They trust Tobias.
Yeah.
Like if Tobias straight up said, "You have to tell me where this camp is," they probably would. But they don't trust humans ultimately because they know that humans are also kind of assholes. And
because they've seen some of them. Yeah, they've been around humans and they've seen the humans that will willingly join the Yerks.
Yeah. And also, like, they know that they have to look out for themselves first, right? Which, that's a good choice. I cannot fault the Hork-Bajir for saying, we got to look out for ourselves first right now. Because sometimes you do have to look out for yourself first before you can help others.
What if they saw, like, a human while they were outside of Yerk control, and they saw, like, a look of horror, disgust, like, looking at them? And then they're like, oh, we have to protect them, the ones that like look at us like we're monsters. Like, yeah, I just realized that would be terrible. I wouldn't want to help them, or I would severely mistrust them as well. I'd be like, no, I'm good.
Well, absolutely. And we know why in like a couple of chapters because they'll be put in a zoo, like almost immediately.
Yeah.
Captured by some
Mr.
backwoods
Frank,
some strip mall hillbilly.
Some what is Tiger King ass bullshit.
Yeah. Anyways, so there's some bad writing in this section though, as well. Where like, yeah, Tobias is like, yeah, you know what? I wouldn't trust humans either. Just look what they did to the Native Americans. I better read the whole line just because, like,
Please do.
Okay, here we go.
Please do.
Toby looked proud. The Hork-Bajir trusted Andalites to save us from the Yeerks. The Andalites failed. The Andalites took care of their own. We must do the same. We are grateful to the humans called Animorphs. But do you say we should trust all humans? Well, she had me there. It was way too easy to see a day when the Yeerks were defeated and these Hork-Bajir were left behind on Earth. What would happen to them? Humans didn't exactly have an unblemished records of tolerance for different races. After all, before this valley had belonged to the Hork-Bajir, it had probably been inhabited by Native Americans. Like, yes, but also, like, it...
All of the woods near your house used to belong to the Native Americans.
You know that there are still some around, right?
Yeah.
Like we can say hi to Native Americans.
Yeah.
Like we can just go up and like, you know, meet one. Kids, meet a Native American. And it's like because it acknowledges that like it is a past without acknowledging the present, right? Like it's like yeah, we did some bad shit in the past.
Yeah, our problems are over now though.
That's right.
This is a post-racial society now. Come on, get with it.
Which was egregious in the 90s, though, especially, right?
Yes.
It was the, like, not only do we not see color, we don't acknowledge that anything bad happened to you, and we're all the same.
Right.
Where it's like, no, like, there's oppression still, you motherfucker. Like, and it's with good intentions. Like, I get why, say, the author wrote that, right? Because they're trying to be sympathetic to, a tragic past. Like, yeah, humans can be assholes. This is true. There are better examples that do not target out, like, currently existing groups. Right? And
that are currently still oppressed as well.
Yeah.
Like,
I was going to say, we're slowly, quietly killing them still.
Right. And it's like... but that, like, it's hard to get super angry. You can get angry, but not like super angry because like the intention here was to be like, yeah, we fucked up.
All we do is fuck up.
Yeah, which is true. We do fuck up. But like at the same time, it also acknowledges that you didn't learn anything here, right? Because you acknowledge that you fucked up, but you're still doing it. You can just say humans are bad.
Yeah.
Like we get it. You don't have to like specifically target out like, well, and also if you're having this conversation, right, lay the blame on somebody specific.
Yeah,
don't just say
white people.
Like humans targeted Native Americans means that like what are Native Americans then at this point? Because like you're not saying they're humans. Like
it deserves more than just a throwaway line in the whole entire book. Like have a little like if you're going to go into it, if you're gonna do it, do it a little bit better than just that. Yeah.
Anyways,
the 90s were like so full of good intentions, but just missing by so much.
Right.
Yeah. It's a kid who knew that they did something bad, but they don't know why.
Yeah.
They knew that it was a bad thing they did, but they don't understand why it was bad.
And they don't know how.
They just don't want to be in trouble anymore. They don't want to be in trouble.
Yeah. Right.
It's the whole like, I mean, as much as we make it a joke, or we make the joke, or the joke has been made, it's the idea of saying you're welcome to freeing the slaves.
Did you know that in the early 1800s it was legal for white people to enslave African Americans? But then Abraham Lincoln, a white man, set them free.
Yeah. And David and I believe that it's never too late for us to say to our African American brothers and sisters, You're welcome.
Color, that's what that is.
It is. It's like you should be thanking us.
Right.
We acknowledge that we fucked up with the Native American situation.
Right.
You're welcome. We've shown a lot of growth here.
Yeah, we don't make blankets like that anymore. Get off our backs. No, it's
like it's this idea that we should be rewarded for acknowledging it.
No, we should not be rewarded. I think we should be paying reparations to them. Keeping them on fucking reservations, or that's what they get.
Yeah, or at least like basic financial support,
just
right?
Something,
like,
anything.
Hey, you know what? Like maybe they should get health care first.
I 100% agree.
Yeah. Vaccines first.
The
100%.
country was built on the blood and bodies of Native Americans, indigenous people, black people. We have taken so much. Yeah, they should get things first. They should. Okay. Reparations. Yeah. Any plan 100%. To change the future without any form of reparations is not progress enough to me.
Okay, but they get reparations, but I don't get reparations.
You don't deserve it.
I want ice cream too.
Shut up.
You had enough.
Shut up.
God, we kind of went. Keep this in. It's not enough. We don't do enough, and we at Animorph at time would like to do more. I mean, honestly, we would.
Give me money.
No, I don't want. We don't want money from this.
No, give me money.
Give Nate money.
Why'd you agree?
Because I'm weak. But
so to move on with the actual plot of the book, Tobias wakes up the next morning.
No, a baby Hork-Bajur has been taken.
Right.
Beck.
Not
Odele.
Beck.
Where's it at?
Got 2 turntables and Beck is gone.
No.
You want to join in with any Beck songs there, Char?
I am not familiar enough. I'm not that cool.
I don't know if you guys know this. I'm a big Beck head, which I was torn up when Beck went missing. Beck, where are you? We miss you, Beck.
He ran through the woods yelling, Beck, Beck. Turns out he was at the Scientologist church.
Oh, shit. Well, I mean, like,
Beck is
he was at a strip mall, and I feel like that's where you'd find a lot of Scientologist churches. But yeah, no, my favorite song is Satan Gave Me a Taco.
That's a good one.
Underrated.
And it made me real sick. Everybody's got to learn sometime.
Sex Laws is actually my real favorite song.
Okay.
It's a banger. It's the funkiest song you could find.
Yep.
Yeah. Welcome to Beckcast. All Beck all the time.
Beckers. We'll talk about Becker, the TV show. And Beck. The Becker Boys.
Breaking news, Beck has gone missing.
Searching for him is Dr. John Becker from the show Becker.
I'm trying to move on.
I can't. I'm down a Beck hole.
So Tobias has left the meadow after learning the fate of poor Beck.
Beck.
He has another hunt attempt and fails because of his. He's having human anxiety in a bird body and is just not working out when he needs to hunt a rabbit.
Same.
Yeah, you're in a bird body?
Yeah, look at me. I'm a fat turkey. You want to see my turkey neck? I'm sorry. We're having wine.
So Tobias ultimately goes back to the Animorphs HQ because he needs to tell him about poor old Beck. They kind of chew him out a little bit and saying, like, hey, you just kind of flew off that one time. We're not going to ask, but, is everything okay, little buddy?
Yeah. So they do their little debrief and they decide, okay, some of us are going to go save Beck. Rachel, Tobias, you go track Tobias's cousin.
Smart move. They split up.
For once. They're doing smart shit.
This is the first time they've actually done, like, listen, we don't all need to be doing one thing, right?
Right.
So they go and stalk this poor Arya woman.
Yeah.
And how did they do that?
They just fly around the Hyatt. They look through the window.
Yeah, they're just, like, peeping into the Hyatt. In fact, like, Tobias mentions, like, yeah, she keeps on getting undressed.
He's a sweetie pie. He's
Tobias
like, I don't like
is a
looking.
good hawk boy.
Yeah, he's like, I don't like peeping at anyone. It's like, whoa. They actually put that in there. Excellent.
Tyler, you as a 14, 13-year-old boy, I would 100% be peeping. I'm sorry. Like, I gotta know that about myself.
While
I'd
at
be
the
peeping.
same time acknowledging that you are in fact not peeping. You're like, I'm not peeping, staring right at.
Yeah, get right in
not
there.
me. Not
yeah,
doing it.
but then again, also cousin. So like that's probably also a thing.
Oh yeah, definitely would not have looked at my cousin naked. They're all ugly.
Yeah,
and it's wrong.
More importantly,
but like on multiple levels, like but like also they never mentioned if Arya was an Uggo. That's the thing. Never said that. What if she was Uggo?
How come I imagined her so cute though?
Yeah, well,
like,
it's a cute name.
There's no description. So, like, okay, let's get into it. Like, what did you think Arya looked like?
Like, honestly, if I think of somebody who goes out on safari, I think, like, ponytail, pith hat, shorts, and, like,
you pictured Van Pelt from Jumanji.
Yeah. With a ponytail. The ponytail
exactly.
is
How
what
come I
makes
imagined her with a
lady.
Karen-style bob? Like, why did I imagine the Karen-style bob with her? Like...
Oh, that would suck.
I pictured Fran Drescher.
Oh my God, Mr. Sheffield! I didn't expect you to come home and catch me.
Don't you hate when that happens?
Somebody goes on safari, like
Yeah.
as a photographer.
Yeah. I'm gonna take these pictures, Mr. Sheffield.
What's with you and Fran Drescher, Rayleigh?
I love her.
What happened?
I love her.
What's happened?
There's something
What was
about
the movie
annoying.
she was in?
Beautician and the Beast.
That's it. I watched that. I watched that last
There you
year.
go.
It was good. It holds up. It holds up. It was from the 90s. Watch it.
I couldn't think of a fact on demand, but you asked me what is the Fran Drescher movie, and I know. The next part, as much
Like
fun as we
that,
had just
like
now,
that.
I read this next bit as something very serious and kind of awful. So what happens is Arya jumps in a cab, and they realize their bird morphs, Rachel's and Tobias, will not be fast enough to follow this taxi cab. So Tobias is like, oh, look, there's a cop car following. Let's just ride on that. So he dive bombs onto the top of the cop car, latches on, and starts riding on the cop car. Rachel does the same thing. Now, throughout all these fucking books, they've said we can't be too close together in case there's a bird watcher. We can't do anything that a bird wouldn't do in case there's a controller. We can't do all these things because it would be suspicious. And then Tobias is saying, let's ride on a car. Ride on a car with me.
But no one
And
will say anything because it's a
Yeah.
cop, and nobody wants
Right.
to draw attention to cops.
Yeah, and
Which
people are
is
looking
true,
at them.
but-
It's true, and people are looking at them. But, so, the start of this chapter, Tobias is thinking, Rachel saw me eat that raccoon. She's going to bring it up. I feel ashamed. I don't want to talk about anything going on in my life because Rachel does try to bring up some stuff that's going on. But Tobias is like, check this out. Wahoo, fun car ride. Then they realize Arya's cab darts off another street. The cop starts going another way. Tobias says, fuck it, let's ride on a helicopter.
And Rachel at this point takes pause, like that's dangerous, Tobias.
Yeah, that's a thing.
But she's like, okay, yeah, this is dangerous, but I guess why the fuck not? And Tobias is like, woo! Whirly bird, motherfucker! Flies, catches onto the whirly bird. But
Does a
helicopter,
flip.
Tyler.
Somebody
it's a whirly
said,
bird.
He said to himself, do a flip, and he fucking did. Like, he did a fucking, like, aerial flip and then grabbed onto it with his talons. The motherfucker.
He did.
Absolute
Which,
badass.
This is, like, one of the coolest things he's ever done. Two,
ever.
a way to try and impress his girlfriend. And three, a horrible, awful, manic episode of disassociation where he completely forgets who he is, what he's doing, and why. He leans into his risk-taking behavior to not focus on his emotions, and he does that with someone he knows is going to indulge risk-taking. So I am going to put forward my theory that the Rachel-Tobias relationship is toxically codependent.
I disagree. I think that Tobias has not been feeling himself lately as a bird. Like, you know, this whole lead up has been him failing to hunt.
Mhm.
And part of that is due to his human anxiety. Part of that is due to his human, like, thoughts and feelings interrupting his natural bird brain because he thinks he might have a foot in the human world again with Arya. And he needs to feel his birddom again, and he's starting to feel that with Rachel. And like he's like, yeah, I'll impress Rachel, but like I don't see it as much as like this manic break as much as I am feeling myself again. I'm feeling good again. Let's do a fucking flip. Let's show off because I'm feeling like a proud, strong bird.
I cannot see it like that. I see someone who's pushing down how he feels and trying to hide how he feels to the point of saying, no, everything's fine. Look, I can do a flip. And knowing what we know about Rachel, her being a thrill seeker, like danger badass, wants to cause trouble, she's going to go along with it. And he fucking knows that. Playing on her propensity towards action and violence is manipulative and, in the end, hurtful to himself and her because he's just suppressing how he feels instead of being a fucking adult about it.
I don't know. I just think they're having fun. Like, even the way they
I mean, it's a kid's book. It can be both.
Yeah, I mean, but like, it doesn't seem like a cry to help for me. It seems like, you know...
What are you talking about? They're in the middle of a secret war where they have to pretend to be not aliens. They're being birds who look like aliens.
But you can have fun in a war. In fact, Marco was even saying, like, we haven't had a break in ages. Like, shoot.
Yeah, we haven't traveled back in time in a while.
Well, I mean, like, think about it. Even, like, in trench warfare, like, they would just take a break and play soccer. Like, you know, this is one of those moments of just, like, I need some stress relief. I want to do some kick-ass stunts and then grab onto this helicopter in front of my badass girlfriend, and she's gonna laugh at me and say, like, listen, we're already here, this was useless, and they're both laughing, and I think I'm taking this on face value because, like, there's not much. I was about to say there's not much going on here. There is stuff going on with Tobias. I'm not going to deny that Tobias is not going through some deep emotions right now because of the stuff mentioned about him having that hope again and him not having to deal with that again. I think this is just an escape. I think that he needs to escape, and he didn't get it when he went into the woods, and this is just kind of this moment where you get just like, you know, fuck off and be having fun as a bird.
Well, I think you're wrong, and I think you're stupid, and I don't want to do this podcast anymore with you.
We'll drink that wine, and let me just hit stop and end the podcast, everybody.
And we're done here. Okay, bye, guys. Nice.
Hey, thanks for listening to 28 episodes. Have a good life. Don't ever talk to us again. Bye.
What if we did?
Right? Just done. We're done now. So I don't have bipolar myself, but I do have relatives that have had it, and older relatives that actually passed away. And from what I do know of it, it does kind of feel like there's, like, I don't know the time period in between it, but from the outside looking in, as far as, like, being an outsider who doesn't have it, looking at somebody who does, it does feel like this very fast shift of, like, yes, the world is great, the world is wonderful, blah, 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 and then, like, suddenly everything is awful, everything is bad, I'm inclusive, I'm hiding within myself, I don't want to talk to anybody, I don't want to be around anybody, but then suddenly, like, haha, I want to do this now, I'm going to do this now, I'm going to be your best friend and talk to you all the time now, and then, like, 3 months go by, and then, like, nothing's changed, and you're just like, from my perspective, it's, like, a little bit, like, I don't want to use any kind of, like, ableist language, but just, it feels very disruptive, I'll say. Like, I get hope, I get hopeful, and then, like, when the thing isn't promised, that, like, oh, I'll change, we're gonna talk all the time, it's gonna be so different, and then blah, 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 even if it's, like, this fun, happy, high kind of thing, it ends up kind of being sort of sad at the end, because ultimately nothing changes. It's the same old routine. It was like a moment of fun, but then it's just, like, gone. And that's what this really hit home for me in that regard, because it actually happened to me recently.
Yeah, I read this book and Tobias's part in it as extremely bipolar, and him cycling from episodes of hypermania like this to the one before where he's just too depressed to even talk to his friends, or later when he's so depressed he just falls over. Like,
yeah, and
inside of you there are two wolves.
Well, and, like, the thing is, if you said, like, Tobias is manic depressive, I would agree, but also, like, I think that manic depressives can have opportunities for fun that aren't.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so, like,
it's probably a pretty deep and generous reading of a kid's book, but as someone who's dealt with it a lot in his personal life and work life, it's like, oh, I see what you're doing here. Hold on.
Frank?
Michael Mates, the ghostwriter.
And that's a good point, too. Maybe the people who are ghostwriting actually have first-hand or second-hand experience with this.
Maybe.
So
I don't know. It's something that I've thought about rereading these books, like how healthy are these relationships, how healthy are these characters, and this is a very unhealthy relationship and character to me now. But that doesn't make them any less compelling or good. In fact, I think it makes it better.
There's a worse relationship in this book. You know what it is?
Yeah.
Frank and Dak. That's a very unhealthy relationship.
Frank and Beck?
What, you mean, Frank and Deck. Sorry, Frank and Deck. Beck. Damn it.
You love the man.
It's called Frank's Safariland and Putt-Putt Golf.
Would you go to this? I would.
Frank's Safariland and Putt-Putt Golf?
Yep.
Honestly, some putt-putt golf right now sounds real good.
Yeah. Like, okay.
Yeah.
I love miniature golf.
Here's the thing. I say I would go to this. We both know we wouldn't go to this. You know why?
What? Why not?
Because when you and I were in Thailand, the most unethical place on the planet, we looked up for the ethical elephant sanctuaries. We didn't go to like the tiger sanctuary where it was unethical, where they're all drugged.
Do you care to like rephrase Thailand as the most unethical place on the planet? You
No.
want to say that differently?
No, I said that's the joke. Look, they're awful, terrible
For
people.
tourists, we're talking from a tourist perspective.
No,
not
definitely, it's not the most
broadly.
unethical place on earth. That's obviously America. But my point was, Nate, we have a track record of strong personal ethics.
I just like finding and watching a sad tiger is not my idea of a good time.
No, how could we have done that?
I would just look at all this animals and like this could have been an awesome laser tag area, but instead they filled it with sad animals.
Yeah, don't keep
Right.
sad animals for money, fucking Joe Exotic, Tiger King motherfucker.
Yeah.
Don't keep them.
We're not pro
inappropriately.
Joe
Give
Exotic,
them-
as it turns out.
What's?
Yeah. I'm
Oh
not-
man, he did a bunch of meth and was interesting. That's all that was.
Yeah, it really was.
It's like the first episode, everyone's going nuts for it. It's like, that's meth. They're doing meth.
Those are the
And then the later episode's like, well, I guess I married him because he had the best meth. It's like, I told you, it's meth. It's fine.
But like, yeah. So Frank's Safari Land in Putt-Putt Golf is a place of
Animal torture.
Animal torture and putt-putt golf.
Yeah, a bad local bullshit fun time
Attraction.
zone.
Yeah, I would have heard about it being destroyed in the news after I've gone, and I'm like, good.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hope the animals are safe.
Yeah.
I hope the animals made it out. Everyone else, I don't care.
I hope they ate Frank and it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that you should be able to eat your captors.
This Frank is a Deal and Dan ass motherfucker, and I hate him.
Right.
Eat the rich, eat your captors. Same
Yep.
same energy.
So Arya is there. Why is Arya there?
Because she wants to take a picture of this new scary monster.
There's a new scary monster here. I'm gonna quote this,
New scary
and I
monster.
apologize. By the way, I'm about to say something that is not great.
We're about to quote from the book, and it's a slur. We don't like this word, but it is. We're just gonna. Nate's gonna read it.
The sign said, "All new, deadly midget freak, the living razor."
Dude, that like hearing that, like reading it made me cringe. Hearing it made me cringe.
I mean, like, it's weird that number 23, the Pretender, is the one we're having the talks about race. Well, race and
I
like,
just wanted to talk about the TV show The Pretender.
race and like labeling the other, like because, yeah, and also I think the thing that really like twists the knife is that it's paired with deadly midget freak.
Yeah,
like
for
that.
sure.
That doesn't feel good to
No,
say,
not at all.
and it's like. Yeah, I'm sure that there's some nice poison behind the word freak there, so maybe don't use that word. Long story short is that we're not supposed to like Frank and
we don't. He's
and
a
his
Deal and
torture.
Dan
No.
Hawkins motherfucker.
Yeah,
and
and
that
he
was
has-
Frank's idea to call that Hork Bajor that. That was
Yeah.
Frank's
Yeah.
idea. All
Yeah,
Frank.
fuck Frank.
So
And it's
fuck him.
So anyways,
yeah,
don't worry.
Arya's like, I want to take pictures of this new animal. This you could call this an alien, you can make more money. It's like, yeah, I could call this an alien. Yeah, okay, all right, yeah, let's make some money.
Hell yeah! And so Arya is like, all right, I'm out of here, and she gets in a limo.
Yeah, she's a badass.
How can Arya afford a limo? She's just a nature photographer.
That was the point in the original run when I was originally reading it. I'm like, limo? Where have I seen a limo a whole bunch before?
Right.
Uh-huh.
Nate, do you want to
Okay.
you want to tell him your experience with this limo?
But-
I'll say it.
Yeah.
Nate and I were talking about this, and I said, "At what point did you know this was Visser 3?" And he's like, "Oh, not till the end when it was revealed." I hate when these kids' books fool me because I'm an adult.
I mean, like, here's the thing. I didn't know it was Visser 3 specifically. I was thinking that this person was suspicious and up to no good. Was to some yerk. Did not know it was Visser 3.
I love it.
The limo
Not the
should have told me.
9466, baby. I got bread.
That's it. That's it.
But you know what? Like, also, Frank is not having a great time here because he goes out to smoke a cigarette, and all of a sudden, a bird steals his toupee. So, here's the thing: men out there, just go bald.
I'm trying. I mean, I'm not trying. I'm just doing it.
As someone who bought Rogaine and used it for a week and realized, like, nah, this isn't worth the effort. I will just say, just go bald. It's fine.
It's fine.
I did not ask to lose my hair, and for a long period of time I thought that I would have no choice. And with Hair Club, I do have that choice.
And now we're about to pivot into the relationship corner because, well, I mean, they need to come up with a plan to deal with Mr. Frank and his zoo and putt-putt golf. Putt-putt golf, by the way, is a ridiculous name for a great business. Call it miniature golf. Give it some respect.
Yeah, put some respect on that name.
That's right.
That's us. Animorph time. The miniature golf defenders. Wow, 2 white guys defending golf. Can you believe it? Ugh. They go back to Animorphs HQ. That's when Tobias talks about. They make their plan. They're like, okay, Rachel's gonna bust the place up. Tobias is gonna save the baby. The rest of us will be waiting. Oh, let's do homework. So
yeah, but I mean. Good point. And the thing is, like, you know, I kind of want to know, like, how their school life is going. It's probably not going great.
Yeah, and Tobias even says, like, sometimes he'll help Rachel with her math homework, or on good, boring days, he'll just fly to the beach and read over people's shoulders. He's like, oh, I read some Stephen King. I read some John Grisham. I even read Nora Roberts, which, bad.
So they have this plan to raid Frank's putt-putt golf course and Sad Zoo. And it's a pretty straightforward plan. It's just turn off the lights,
smash,
and
take baby,
and unleash Rachel on the on the building. Just let her go. Just let her go in there.
It's like
let her do what she does.
Rachel is like unleashing Fran Drescher on a prepubescent Tyler. Destroyed everything.
Yep. Well, here, let me read the sentence, but replace Rachel with Fran Drescher. Here
okay.
Fran Drescher laughed her slightly insane, ready to fight laugh. Yeah, I might. Fran Drescher began...
Yeah, I might.
Fran Drescher began to morph an elephant. Now, earlier, when I said it was kind of cool watching Fran Drescher going into an eagle... It's not the same watching Fran Drescher turn into an elephant. There's nothing even slightly attractive about it. Yeah, no. So I think having Fran Drescher just be Rachel is probably a good move. Yeah, no, Rachel is
and then
the
famous line after with well, we're a nice looking couple, Rachel said. Let's go to the dance.
Mr. Sheffield, let's go to the dance.
Let's go. It'll be so nice.
I got so hot. My head hot.
Oh, I gotta be better. Fran Drescher lumped and bumped and glopped her way from being a normal-sized girl to being a shapeless man. Fran Drescher's legs became pillars. So did Fran Drescher's arms. Fran Drescher's elephant feet sank into the damp soil. Fran Drescher was grinning at me with her white teeth. That's it. I can't. Rachel turns into an elephant. She wrecks up shit. And
I actually cried.
And Tobias turns off all the lights so nobody can see that there's an elephant wrecking the place. Tobias goes and finds Dak Hemi as finds Beck. Beck Hemi?
Beck, just Beck.
Just Beck.
Beck Hemi.
Yeah, as a Hork-Bajir Tobias, because he can turn into a Hork-Bajir because he acquired them a couple books ago.
That's a tear.
He actually acquired Beck's dad, right?
Yeah.
Mom. Tobias acquired the mom.
Yeah, Jam.
The mom.
Hemi?
Okay.
Yeah, Cat Hellpack.
Cat Hellpack. So Tobias turned to Cat Hellpack and said, "Hey Beck, it's me, Cat Hellpack. Time to go. I'm freeing you." But things do not go their way. So what happens?
Tobias bones out with Beck in his arms.
Mm-hmm.
They burst through Jake's like, "Run, you dumb motherfucker," because Jake's actually stepping up, being a leader, because when other people write Jake, he makes decisions and commands the groups.
That's a good point.
And Tobias is like, "I don't know, I shouldn't go." And he's like, "Go, you dumb fuck." And he bursts through the door.
Because they're fighting because like there's a bunch of Hork-Bajirs.
There's controllers there. They've got guns. There's not Hork-Bajirs. There's just controllers.
Oh my. Okay.
And so they're fighting human controllers. And Tobias cuts off the dude's fingers.
Hell yeah.
Cassie bites a guy.
Great.
Things are going wild. There's blood. It's like
right, but
wouldn't you know it? There's another Andalite standing right there.
Oh shit.
A bigger, stronger, battle-worn Andalite.
And he's like Mr. Sheffield.
No.
No, and it's like Visser 3. Literally, I know the Andalite pretty well at this point.
The evil emanating off of him, I could feel it. That's our boy, our king, our badass, bitchy motherfucker, Visser 3. And he immediately starts morphing into a caftid.
A caftid.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which I thought was a
caftid
caftid bird at first, which was
Right.
that small alien bird from the Andalite homeworld, which I'm like, that's not intimidating.
Yeah,
You
just like
did
this nice
that.
rainbow-colored parrot. That seems cool.
Yeah,
Especially
cute.
for
Why are
chilling
you
out the
doing this,
vibe.
bud? Doesn't make
And
any sense.
It's a seahorse-headed, tubule-nosed. He's got wings on his head with like spider legs, green dragon-looking thing. And he's like, motherfuckers, you're my slaves now. Because he doesn't realize that, they're Andalite bandits and whatnot.
Yeah, he just thinks that this is a normal
Didn't-
raid from the Hork-Bajir.
Isn't this the part, though, that he actually recognized Tobias's
He
morphs
did. He's
very
like-
specifically?
Yeah, he's
so
like,
I
"Your
have
cat
something to
help."
say about that.
Uh-oh.
So of all things that Visser 3 is, all the things that are negative, I feel like it's very good that he notices a specific Hork-Bajir and knows exactly who... Isn't that nice? Like,
That is. Our boy's
That's
got
like
object
Visser-
permanence.
object permanence, and he's not racist against Hork-Bajir. Good job, bud. Like,
And, I mean, this
I
Hork...
would say he's meticulous.
Yeah, this Hork-Bajir did slight him, I would say.
Mm-hmm. So
Like
that,
this
that
one in
face
particular,
is
the one
burned
that...
his memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, it's time to be a slave. And Tobias has the presence of mind to say, yes, me slave, and lay down in the mud. Mr. 3's like, ha ha ha, fuck yeah, I knew you were a bunch of fucking pussies. Yeah, dumb pussy, ha ha ha. And he strolls past him, and Tobias is like, fuck you, and cuts off 3 of his legs. Just slices his legs right off. Slash and slurp, baby.
Yes. Down on face, I said. Trying my best to sound like a Hork-Bajir. I knelt down and stretched out, and that's when Visser 3 got over-anxious. He started to rush past me, desperate to reach the others. He stepped a little too close, and suddenly, instead of 8 legs, he had 5. One fast, powerful swipe from my arm. Blade, blade, blade! Blade 3. I was
Some
like that.
motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill.
I was like the new 3-blade razor. I was like that new 3-blade razor.
Wait, that's in yours?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It's in mine,
You know, like
too.
the
It's in
Schick 3
mine.
razor?
What chapter is this? This is not in mine.
The first triple blade shaving system. 3 blades, specially positioned to shave progressively closer. You take 1 stroke, it takes 3.
Chapter 19.
So
when
in
he's
mine-
talking about this.
Mine, it says chapter, and then I think because the chapter was a text, like a weird kind
Yeah.
of like GIF image, I don't have chapters, so I saw the exact part you're talking about.
It's
but
in there.
Yeah.
It's in the book.
It was.
I
I
was
was
like
like that
that new
new 3-blade razor.
I was like that fancy gizmo.
That's
Fucking
so,
hell,
see,
Michael
commercials.
Mates.
This takes it back to the commercials that were so prevalent in the 90s.
Man,
clearly.
Animorphs loves brands. You guys, they love brands.
So good. Diet Coke. Let's name all the brands from this book. Diet Coke.
Applebee's.
3-blade razor. Applebee's. God, so much.
Nora Roberts.
Nora Roberts.
Mr.
Can't forget
Sheffield.
Yeah,
her.
the nanny.
I was like the new 3-bladed razor is one of those things that you write when you don't care about what you're writing. Like, it's
That's
just like,
a simile that gave up halfway through being a simile.
yeah, it's just like, if I were to write that, it's like, and then he spat at me and it was like I was eating a Tide Pod. It's just, like one of those things, just like, nobody's going to know what that means 10 years from now, and if they do, they'll be sad. And this made me sad.
Fuck
this
you,
part
Michael
did not
Mates.
age well. This did not age well.
The
that
Pretender
one
is
line.
Michael Mates. He's pretend writing these books.
However, might I add, though, it was cool that he chopped off a couple legs.
It is very cool. And Visser 3 drops
cool.
down and like spits a glob of acid right at Beck.
Yep.
Tobias flips around, takes a glob of acid in the back.
And he just falls right into the shit and piss zone.
He's like, fuck. Give me the shit and piss corner.
Yeah. And yeah, he falls over, and then he kind of like...
He jumps into a pool.
He jumps into a pool and then loses his grip on Beck, right? Because he's now Beck's protector. Beck is just a scared little baby.
Yep.
And,
like you.
Yeah, like me, Tyler, I'm gone. Right? Like I'm out of the picture, and you, Tobias,
are a big malformed acid-covered pained ass.
Right, but Tobias is just like, wait, okay, no, Beck's gone. Oh shit, Beck's gone. This is my fault. Right, he immediately takes all the blame for the situation. So yeah, Tobias is understandably bummed out about losing the person he swore to protect, right? Because he promised to Toby that he was going to protect Beck. So then he goes back to his meadow.
Tobias goes to yell at the hawk.
Right. Yeah, so Tobias like flies back to his meadow, and he just like deflects all of his like guilt and shame on this poor like hawk that is just like, I'm hungry. Yeah. This meadow seems nice.
Those are my rabbits, you jerk. Get out of here. I know I don't eat them, but they're still mine. I know I'm only able to hunt and kill like a hawk should, but you have to rub my nose in it, my beak. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, but like at this point, he's just yelling at a cloud.
The hawk is like nothing. Literally like, right, and it's got like these thoughts directly into its brain that it didn't choose to like want.
Yeah, he probably doesn't even understand it.
Have you ever yelled at a bird? Like, you know, they don't care.
Man yells at clouds. Man yells at birds. Right. Yeah.
So,
I have yelled at birds.
The virgin Tobias versus the Chad actual hawk.
Yeah, like I've yelled at many a goose, and they just honk at you. Like they don't care. But, so let's go ahead and stalk our cousin.
Yeah, Axe says, let's go follow Arya. He's like, all right, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
So they go and they follow her, and she's having a normal day about town. But she has to poop a lot. She goes back home every couple hours to poop. I was like, oh, yeah, she poops a lot, I guess. That's weird. And a child falls in front of a bus.
Right, a child chases a ball into traffic.
As you do in the 90s.
That's right. I love doing it as a child.
Very typical scenario.
And Arya, the cousin, rushes to save the child, pushes the kid out of the way, saves the kid's life.
Well, controllers hate children. They would never do that.
Yeah, Axe is like, a controller would never do that. This bitch rules. She's your cousin.
She's the real deal. Tobias, hope is guaranteed.
Yeah. No bad ending for Tobias. Not here.
And Tobias is feeling it. Like, he's like, yes, okay, maybe I think I can trust this Arya person.
Tobias was feeling about it, but he was noting also as well that something in Axe's choice of words bothered me. But I forgot about it in a rush of emotions that folled.
I mean,
so he noted it.
Yeah. When you're trying to cling on to any hope, you don't
pay
key in on the
attention to
stuff.
reality.
Yeah. It's all bad.
But ultimately, I think he's feeling pretty high on it.
Yeah.
So it's time to get those low lows. He goes and has a conversation with his potential GF, the BF, Rachel.
That's not her name. It's Fran Drescher, and you know it.
So this conversation with Fran Drescher is false.
No, we can't. We can't do it.
No, this is a deep conversation. There's important things going on here.
Are they officially not official? Are they not Facebook official at this point?
This is
20
where
years
it's
before Facebook existed.
I think this is where it becomes official. This is the book where it's the most explicit.
Yeah, and it's like ham-fisted and weird. I kind of wanted like a moment, right? But like this is their moment. Is just like having a fight where they admit that they have feelings for each other because they're fighting. Which is why the fight corner is adjacent to the relationship corner, right? Because
absolutely.
Like ultimately, like so Tobias flies to their window, and Tobias is like, "Hey, this thing with my cousin Arya might be real, but you know, I don't know if I want to turn human, right? Or like, how's that even gonna work?" And Rachel's just like, "Turn human, just be a human. It's fine. Like, we got the rest of this ourselves. You can just have a good life."
Yeah, I care about you. I don't want to worry about you dying. I know things are going wrong. and you just hold it in. You'd rather starve than ask for help. That's a direct line from Rachel.
Yeah, but like none of this is direct though, right? Because like the thing is Tobias is like, I don't need anyone to take care of me.
Mm-hmm.
And Rachel like immediately calls that out as bullshit. And he's like, Tobias, you are playing dumb, right?
Yeah. You're a human. You have emotions. You have feelings.
You have hunger, by the way. You look like a skeleton. You're a flying skeleton.
I mean, I saw you. Never mind.
Oh, shit. You saw me what? Eat that roadkill?
What, bitch? Say it again.
I saw you eat out of the trash. Right, I saw you eat out of the trash,
Tobias. I don't care that you ate that roadkill. I don't care.
Like,
stop being an idiot. I care about you, and I see what you're doing. That all these things you're doing wrong for you, but you're off in your own little hawk world, and no one's allowed to help you. You'd rather starve than ask for help. You can't even admit that your life might suck, because then you'd feel weak.
I'm a hawk. I snapped. A bird of prey. When we're weak, we die, and that's the law for us. I'm not a human being, not anymore. No one helps a hawk. A hawk lives by his eyes and his wings and his talons.
Oh, you're a hawk?
Rachel sneered.
You talk, Tobias. You read. You have emotions. Those are human things, not hawk things.
I know. Don't you think I don't know? That's why I go hungry, because I'm not hawk enough. That's why I let Beck get away, because I was a human. Because I was human enough to care more about my pain and fear than care about doing what I had to do. God damn it.
It's just stupid. It doesn't even make sense. You know what? You have a choice, Tobias. You can be a hawk, but you will never ever in a million years be a pure, true hawk.
No!
If you want to stay a hawk, you'll be like you are now, confused, conflicted, torn up inside, never knowing exactly what you are. Or you can be human again, all human. You can live with area women and eat at the table and sleep in a bed.
And never fly again? Never fly again, never see with a hawk's eyes. Never morph again. You know that you guys will always be nice to me, but I'd lose all of you. I'd lose being an animorph.
Wouldn't lose me.
For a long while, neither of us spoke. Then Rachel, in a whisper, said,
What am I supposed to do, Tobias? I'm a girl. You're a bird. This is way past Romeo and Juliet, Montagues and Capulets. This isn't Kate Winslet and Leo DiCaprio coming from a different social group or whatever. It's not like you're black and I'm white like Cassie and Jake. No one but a moron cares about that. We can't hold hands, Tobias. We can't dance. We can't go to a movie together.
Whoa, hold on. I did not bring race into this. Rachel. It's a different thing.
What? She's okay dating a bird, but she won't date a black guy.
Rachel, hold on. Yeah, so I mean, like, they're having like a couple fight, which, and the thing is, like, yeah, they're talking about like going out on dates and shit, but like they haven't actually had like strong romantic connections yet, and I feel like they jumped the gun a little bit. Like, you want to have that build up where like Rachel's in trouble and Tobias says, like, kisses her for luck or something, or says like, I care about you, god damn it, don't you die on me, like, or like, I wanted to see more of those like kind of like relationship building moments. I mean, he went
to her thing once, her
oh yeah, no, he did that whole player move. He did like showing up as like,
student.
What's up?
But that was it. That's all we saw.
This is how teenagers fight. They talk in big, emotional, grandiose bullshits.
Yeah.
That's what this is. This is a teen fight.
Right. Yeah, this is totally a teenage relationship. And like, at that point, I will say, like, well-written ghostwriter, right? Because, like, it does kind of feel accurate, right?
Yeah.
It feels like the stakes are... well, the thing is, the stakes are very high.
Right.
Right.
And Rachel's like, look, whatever happens, whatever you choose, tomorrow's your birthday, and that won't change anything. Come by. We'll have a little cake. We'll have a candle.
Yeah.
She cares. She cares.
Yeah, Rachel is showing some good understanding here. Like, she's very mature right now.
And she knew enough to realize that he wasn't actually 100% sure of his birthday to actually ask Marco to go and actually like hack into the school records, which is in the 90s, I imagine, a little bit of a feat for a 7th grader at this point to do.
I mean,
even
honestly,
with
hacking
help.
into it is probably like turning on the computer and going to the Excel folder
Probably
that says
sneaking
student
into the
names and
computer room
birthdays.
onto the teacher's computer and just logging in.
Right. But like, like it's one of those things too where I think that Cassie in these conversations would play along not to hurt Tobias's feelings, and Rachel and Tobias make a good couple in the sense that Rachel calls out bullshit immediately, and Tobias is covered in bullshit.
Just full of it.
His eyes are
And
brown
freeze.
because he is full of bullshit.
Yeah.
And Tobias kind of needs that kind of like, you're not fooling anybody, just be honest with me conversation sometimes.
Well, I mean, yeah, when all you've been is abused and like beaten down and awful, sometimes what you respond best to is someone saying, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah, but like
it's not healthy, it's not good. There are better ways, but this works.
Sometimes you need to snap out of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to slap across the face, like, just wake up. This hurts me more than it hurts you.
You're being hysterical, Tobias. Slap, slap, slap. And so Tobias flies away and he says, "You know what? I think I will be human. I think I just need to be human. If Arya says what if Arya is what I've seen her to be, if she can give me a home, then maybe I'll do it. I'll do this last battle. They're counting on me to help. I'll get them through this. Then I will be human."
Believe and hope.
Yeah.
So I wrote the notes for this chapter. Bird or boy, eat that dead cat.
Yeah. Tobias, like any normal person, has a dead cat for a birthday cake.
Because he fucked up again. He can't hunt.
Yeah, it's like one last time picking the dead animal flesh from the pavement. One last humiliation. One last battle, and I would be done forever. It was my birthday, after all. A good day to be reborn. I found the cat. I ate as much of it as I could hold.
Would it be sadder if there were little birthday candles in the cat? Or would it be better?
Better. Because all I thought of was a cat with birthday
Only better
candles.
if Rachel put them there. If they were just there without context,
Oh, that'd be so
it would
sweet.
be worse.
Like,
but if
I would
if
be
Rachel put
touched.
them there, it'd be cute. It'd be cute.
So what happens next?
He flies to the Hork-Bajir hometown. They put together the plan. They said, we're just going to treat this like any normal raid.
Yeah.
We're going to send the same amount of Hork-Bajir.
Which is
Animorphs,
smart.
Animorphs, you go on as bugs, and the plan is to get captured.
Great.
And
The old Trojan Hork-Bajir.
Yeah.
And it works. They got captured and
They get captured immediately.
Captured immediately. Get put in a cage, and they're just like, cool.
Yeah.
We're glad to be here in this cage.
And they're like, okay, form a circle. One of us has to morph. And Tobias is like, it's me. I'm obviously the smallest. They can hide me the easiest.
But first they fuck up the circle.
The Hork-Bajir are too stupid and too obvious. And Tobias is like, no, you gotta look natural. I'm like, oh, yes, natural.
And so they make like an obvious circle to hide something.
And before we go on with the plot, before all that, there's one beautiful moment between Tobias and a Hork-Bajir when the Hork-Bajir's like, we fight. And Tobias is like, huh? And the Hork-Bajir points to his eyebrow, and he's got this big old scar above his eyes. Like, before, we fight. You, me, we fight. And Tobias is like, oh my God.
You took it.
Yeah, you took my eyes. Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I love doing that.
I didn't mean to do that. And the Hork-Bajir's like, no, it's fine. Was not free. Free now. We friends.
Like the eye was not free?
I mean, none of it was free. Like, the Hork-Bajir was not free.
It was a free eye, though.
And they
'cause he took
also,
it.
that was the chapter where Toby says, okay, this is basically, the Yerk compound is a giant space laser for shooting down Andalite ships. We have to free Hork-Bajir because we need to be free and strong. We need to care for ourselves.
Yeah, they need to build a tribe for themselves because otherwise they'll be put in the Hork-Bajir zoo that the humans will definitely build.
Yeah, and that's when the second problematic thing happens. And the Tobias apologizes. I did that? I'm sorry. No, sorry. Foul to gut, not free. He tapped his head with one long claw. Foul to gut, have Yerk. Now free. Good. Hork-Bajir and humans friends, Toby say. It was a long speech for Hork-Bajir. Foul to gut seemed worn out by it. I wondered about the image of a Hork-Bajir and humans living side by side if the Yerks were defeated. Humans didn't have a great record of getting along with people different from themselves. Humans killed one another over skin color, eye shape, or because they prayed differently to the same god. Hard to imagine humans welcoming 7-foot-tall goblins into the local Boy Scout troop when they couldn't even manage to tolerate some gay kid. Get pushed, push back.
Man, like this brings me to like a time and a place where that was the big controversy is what if a gay kid was in the Boy Scouts?
Yeah.
Like that was a conversation that collectively we all had.
That went on way too long.
What if the kid's gay? What if he's gay and he turns the other kids gay? Yeah, I mean, like honestly, the problem I have here is just like, is this the part where we're gonna have the gay conversation? Like, the thing is,
it's
like
the only part it ever comes up in the whole series. As well.
It's like these are loaded topics, and you don't just like dump them on because you want to make a point in your story. It's like it's a literal crutch, right?
Yeah,
It's
and the parallel they're drawing is that gay people are 7-foot-tall goblin freaks.
Yeah,
which honestly, if they were, fuck yeah.
I mean, we all listen again. DM the Animorphing Time. DM the Animorphing Time Twitter handle for the
at DM me if you look like this.
But like, it's one of those things. Is like you're using somebody's actual pained experience as a literal device, and yes, it works. I get what you're trying to say, but it's also like you're using somebody, and I hate it when you use people. You know, it sucks. Don't do that.
People have two uses.
What's that?
Fucking and sucking.
Which corner is that?
Yep, all of them.
I mean, that's in the
middle.
center. That's in the center.
The middle, yeah.
Yeah, it's
the
the middle.
Right in that center zone.
Oh, this is turning into one of those episodes.
Special episode. Very special episode.
A very special episode of Animorphs Time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gay. Slap, slap, slap. Ah, my bottom. Ah.
Listen, Fall Tat Gut, I don't think we should be talking about this right now. We have shit to do.
Fall to gut gay.
Fall to gut. Listen, I mean, like, it's cool, but like, we're at a war. Maybe, like, save it.
That's
Fall to gut.
It's just that part and the other part really hurt.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, it's
just
like one of those things.
Dropped. It was like a bomb in the middle of already a giant bomb. So it's like the point of it really kind of got lost and wrapped up. I mean, I remember reading that as a kid, and I was just like, oh, wow. Like, they actually said it. And I thought that was a good thing. Like, that was, of course, the 90s thing. Like, oh, you just brought up the topic. Good,
that was
good.
the Ellen thing, right?
That's enough. That's all that matters. Yeah, and it's just like,
Ellen
no.
is gay and on TV, you guys. She's gay on TV.
Right.
And, like, that was progressive as all hell.
And I mean, at one point, pure representation did matter, but...
This isn't even representation, though. This is
it's
just
really not.
Acknowledging existence of. Yeah. And I suppose that is progressive in a way, but, like, it feels like you're using it, though.
And
you're using it.
And obviously, Char, I don't want to give it.
The only bad thing is...
I was going to say, I don't want to give it away for Nate, but there's a very obvious queer-coded couple later in the series that is a much better example of gayness and queerness.
It's canon.
Yeah.
By the way, it's canon. It's just, and it's actually been admitted
shot out of
that,
cannon. See, again, you can't have a healthy gay relationship.
They're just shooting cannons at each other.
They could only do so much because 90s and Scholastic editors. That's literally was their stop. They had a wall. There was a glass ceiling, and they were pressed right up against it as much as they could do in a 90s children's book.
But it's just like they just said I can't see Hork-Bajir integrating with humans because humans are awful to humans. They didn't have to pick the example of some gay kid.
So maybe humans were no better. Maybe you couldn't blame a human animal for just being an animal, except my hawk opponent had no choice, no free will. He never heard, "Blessed are the peacemakers," or "I have a dream," or "All men are created equal." The cringe is coming, you guys.
God.
Is this all he remembers from school? Is this like
I can do more. Here we go. Every human, Jake, Rachel, Marco, Cassie, all humans kind of live on the edge between savage and saint. And the thing is that sometimes when you get pushed, you just got to push back. And other times you just got to turn the other cheek.
No, this is like sometimes you have to do a war. Sometimes you have to do violence.
But sometimes you don't. So it's like,
sometimes I feel like a war. Sometimes I don't.
Sometimes it's real. Sometimes it's not real. Do you ever think of that?
Man, can you think that maybe like 100 years from now, someone accidentally listens to part of this? That depresses the fuck out of me.
Listen, but maybe they will. This is the first time they'll be exposed to Dr. Martin Luther King's speech.
That's
where,
not the only thing they'll be exposed to.
Woo!
Hey!
Nate came up with a great movie idea before we started recording. It's
What's
called "What If Hot Dudes Showed Their Penises?" And I didn't realize
I'm into it.
I didn't realize he was talking about Magic Mike or the Full Monty.
Remember the Full Monty, you guys? Remember Martin Luther King?
God, I hate how much Martin Luther King gets brought up to justify violent acts.
And you all say the founding fathers never had a breakfast program, so keep that in mind. We gotta go. We gotta wrap this up.
They're all rapist, slave-owning pieces of shit, and we should burn the Constitution and start something new. Animorph time.
Animorph time facts. All right. Anyway,
They get caught.
They get caught.
They're in the cage. Tobias is like, "I'll get us out of here. Don't worry."
And he does the coolest shit ever. He turns into a bird because obviously.
Yeah, he has to turn into a bird.
And he does like this cute little
out.
bird
He
walk.
does the cute bird walk.
Which if you've ever seen a raptor walk on
it's
the
beautiful.
ground is fucking adorable as
It
shit.
is.
Look up the gifs. It's so cute.
It's so cute.
It's this flying murder machine that has like
Yes.
cute little stilt legs, and it's just like waddling about. I'm like, you're adorable, and you would peck my eyes out.
In
Love
a
it.
second.
And he's like, "Okay, I know what to do." So he morphs into Ket Hellpack.
Okay.
Wanders over to the Hork-Bajir controller. He's like, "Hey, they want to see you." And he's like, "Who?" He's like, "They." He's like, "Ah, shit. Is Visser 3 here? God damn it."
And he just like,
"Give me the key." All right, fuck.
Here.
Could you do that to somebody?
Yes.
Like, could you do this gambit?
I could do that at my work. I could do that at my work. I could be like, "Ugh, man, Chris wants to see you. Go to the A&M office." I'm like, "What? Oh, come on." And it's-
Well, I mean, like, okay, but that's a place you work. You know their names. Could you go into a different hospital? Say, yeah, the head nurse wants to see you.
Yeah, you could. I'd be like, Charge wants to see you. "Oh, really? What for?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. I'm new. They just told me to come tell you."
Char, do you want to like break into some hospitals? That sounds easy.
I get you in.
Go.
I got all kinds of colored scrubs. Let's go.
So, in any case, the Hork-Bajirs break out, and they tie up all the other Hork-Bajir.
Yeah, they let loose the dogs of war. There's fighting.
The Hork-Bajir may not be rocket scientists, but they are very good with vine, roots, and trees. So they tie up the other Hork-Bajir.
They tie up the hostages. Then they're like, "Okay, we have to blow up this weapons platform."
How do we do that?
I don't know. Tobias, run away. Tobias says they need their eyes in the sky, so I morphed back to bird to take a look to make sure everything was fine. And that's when Tobias sees the ultralight helicopter coming in.
Right, the cool like flying bubble helicopter.
The small one person
Yep.
seater helicopter.
And he sees Arya flying in.
Arya, like the cousin who's gonna give you a home and hope.
Yeah, that one. The very
Hey, remember
same.
that like glimmer of hope you had? Yeah, that would you got caught.
It's gone.
You're an idiot.
Because Tobias puts 2 and 2 together. It's Visser 3 in a morph.
Yep.
And Tobias does what true manic depressives do when their manic state is over. They crash.
Yeah, and like he's a bird, so he just falls out of the sky.
He falls out of the sky onto the ground, just completely Joker-fied, depressed, realizing his hope is gone, that hope was never an option. Peace was never an option. He had no hope ever. They find him on the ground after the battle. They hand him to Rachel,
Yeah,
and
it's
she's like, "What's
cratered.
wrong?" And he's like, "Ah ha 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 ha
It's just-
ah ha 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 ah ha ha ha."
You know what it is? It's the scene in Breaking Bad where Walt is underneath the floorboards.
Oh yeah, crawl space, where he's
the-
like just screaming with laughter.
Walt, please, please just hear me out, please.
Right, because like, you know, at a certain point you've just been through much pain and anguish and you have just lost so thoroughly, all you can do is just laugh because there's no other reaction. Because like crying seems like he's not feeling bad for himself. he just feels tricked again.
Yep.
And all he can do is laugh because, like, you know, like it's the only reaction that makes sense to being tricked, right? Because if you are betrayed, then you feel sad, right? If Rachel said something, he would be sad, right?
Also, crying is like a vulnerability he's not willing to share with the others at all. Like, it's better to laugh at yourself than to cry in front of people who you know are not going to get it on the level that you understand it. Yeah. And the level it hurts you where it does not hurt them. It's like when other people lose their keys. It's very important to them, but you can't relate even though you've probably lost your keys too. It's not as annoying to you. It's that he knows that the others do not feel that visceral, like, pain and anguish of like, I'm gonna be late, I'm gonna, or whatever.
They don't know what it's like to have a home ripped away from them.
Yeah, they don't understand,
or to never have had one.
Yeah, the soul-biting loneliness of having to care for yourself and never ever having a parachute. Wonder what that's like.
Yeah,
hate him.
That's why you were so funny in high school. You were always laughing.
Always laughing. Mr. Smiles.
Laugh through the pain.
Tyler's the funny guy.
But, like, I should point out how disturbing it would be to find a bird on the floor laughing hysterically.
Right.
Like, what would you do? You just, like, all Rachel can do is just pick him up and, like, let's go. Let's get out of the situation. I can't talk you out of laughing hysterically.
Well, the Hork picked him up. And then the Hork somehow knew to hand him off to Rachel, which I thought was interesting.
Well,
thought was interesting.
Rachel was probably shooting some looks at that sexy bird.
Probably. Gimme.
Yeah, gimme.
Gimme. My bird boy. I've been falconing, and the bird, the red-tailed hawk on the fist of the one guy falconing with the red tail, was a dramatic asshole. So every time the hawk would land on the fist, she would also try to fly off, and then when she did that, she fell and she would be upside down. So then the ultimate result was that he had to hold her like a baby, like a little football. So that's probably what happened.
Red tail like a football.
I've held a chicken like that. They're pretty much the same thing.
It's very cute. It's very good.
And Tobias, realizing he doesn't have time to sit and feel sorry for himself, that would come later. He has to go to his appointment.
Right. So to conclude the dumb main plot, they blew up the laser.
Yeah, they blew up the laser. Didn't go great, but
whatever.
While
he's just laughing at himself on the ground.
Yeah. Dak, not Dak. I keep on wanting to call him Dak.
Toby shows up and saves the day.
Toby shows up and saves the day. They still don't know what happened to Beck.
I think Beck got. I don't remember. Who cares?
Yeah, I think ultimately, like, nobody cares about Beck anymore, which is sad.
Yeah.
I care about Beck.
Where's that? I think about Beck.
But so Tobias has to go to the lawyer's appointment.
Tobias got to see Mr. DeGroot. He goes there. There's no receptionist. It's just Arya and DeGroot.
Yeah.
And they read him this letter. Not suspicious at all. And they read him this letter, and they're watching him, and Tobias is very conscious about not making any micro expressions because he knows Mr. 3 is watching, DeGroot is watching.
I just love the part though when like they're just very pointedly are like Elfinger, Cyrano, Shamtil, and they just like, come on, that means something to you, right?
Yeah,
and he's just like,
I could feel Arya staring at me. I could feel her predatory alertness. She was watching my eyes. I did not look at her. She was watching for the twitch that did not come, for the grimace, for the worry, for some emotion that would give me away. I gave him, nothing.
So they're reading Tobias's father's will.
Yeah.
Right? The father that he didn't know knew he had.
Right.
And it's revealed that Tobias's father is Alan Fangor.
Yeah.
Which, again, I love the name Alan Fangor.
Right.
Alan Fangor is a great name. Anyways, so, they keep on goading Tobias into, like, give me a reaction. Right. I want to know if I can kill you.
And he's, like, shouting inside. It's like, I can't believe it. Elfinger's my father. Elfinger's, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God.
But, like, Tobias is so disconnected from the world of men that he's able to get through the situation, like, not responding to.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Your dad's an alien. Your dad's the person who put you in this hell world.
Yeah. Your dad is the one who made you special.
It's like, honestly, like, this would make for great television.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the one scene where I was thinking, like, I'd like to see this played out because, like, it's essentially two people just, like, really grilling this teenager saying, like, oh, all the bad things have purpose, and you have a real father, but he's dead, and you saw him die, right? And like he can't make a reaction. It's great soap opera schlock.
Yeah.
And
I cried as original reading of this. I was like,
it's
in
tragic.
tears. I was like, oh,
Right.
and even now rereading it, I was like tearing up. I was like, oh my god.
because the one person you want to show you're really rooting to show honest emotion is Tobias always. And in this situation, he literally cannot.
It's the one time he cannot show emotion.
Right. And so like he has to put it deep down inside still. Right. And he has an excuse. He has a reason to feel human right now, is because like, he has a wild mixture of human emotions, and he wants to break down, but he can't.
And no, he plays it off. He's like, well, I guess
Leans
I guess if you didn't leave me money, well then fuck that guy.
Right.
Yeah, leans into that tough guy react. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And, they let him go because they believe that he's a jaded, street rat.
Yeah, they get
Riffraff.
nothing from him. And they even, DeGroot's like, shouldn't we still yerk his brain? Visser 3's like, he's street trash. That'd be a waste of a yerk. And it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Ultimate insult to injury right there.
Tobias
you
is
are so thrown away, you're not even worthy of a yerk.
Right.
Like, you are such garbage, you are not worthy of a yerk.
Right. Even the plot is kicking Tobias on the ground, right? Is like everything is going poorly for him.
He demorphed so he could regain the 2-hour time limit so he could just cry for 2 hours.
Yeah, so he could sit behind a
which
dumpster
is
and cry.
Right. Because
and they
birds
didn't
can't
follow
cry.
him
We
this
know
time.
this.
No,
They
had no
didn't
reason to.
follow
He's
him this
trash.
time.
He's
Yeah,
trash.
Yeah, it's just, oh my god. Just,
It's like now you read Tobias as an adult and you're like, oh, this is the true hero of this story.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a great rebuke to the trope of most important star child, because this is most important trash child, and he's not important.
I mean, like, yeah, that was my worry going into the reveal of Alan Fingor being Tobias's father, is that he would become a special child with a special destiny. And it's just like, no. Like, the thing is, I gravitate and enjoy and need stories of trash children still being trash children but succeeding anyways.
Yeah, which
right?
is what the Animorphs is. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Good.
It is.
There's not one of
100%.
these characters who's like the chosen one, sent to save the galaxy, Harry Potter style. This is 5 to 6, however you define it, fucked up pieces of shit coming together to form a community of trauma and awfulness against an unstoppable onslaught of brain slugs.
But they're all pawns in this like scheme that is way greater than themselves, which they have no real control over other than what their small actions do from the day to day. That's all.
Right.
Wait, so he's telling me that they're lost? Sorry, I'm just like, I'm on a Lost kick.
Nate wants to watch Lost again. I'm for it because I liked Lost, even the ending, going on record. I liked it at the time.
Mm-hmm. I'm fascinated by Lost. Anyways, that's not the point of the story. The point of the story is that Tobias returns back to his meadow, and he
yeah, we got to do this part.
Yeah, like he has a choice to make, right? So like he has to deal with his bully, and he deals with his bully. He swoops down, confident, cool, collected, bird-brained. And I mean that in like he's not stupid,
right?
Like,
like he has a bird's brain.
He has a bird's brain, and he uses that, killer instinct to kill the mother rabbit.
But he acquires her first, and he eats her. He stuffs himself on her warm, delicious blood and meat.
And then it turns into a rabbit, which is weird.
And then turns into a rabbit to guide the babies away.
Mm-hmm. Away from the meadow, away from the bully bird.
Yeah. So he saves the rabbits, and I think we should go into animal facts, right?
Rabbit facts!
Prince Jake and Cassie, Tobias and Axe, Rachel and Margot, the bandits are here. They want to listen to animal facts. Fuck all the yerks, Margot's mom is a bitch.
I think Lola Bunny should actually not be sexy. I'm just going to go on the record saying that.
No, I think Lola Bunny should have
number
small
one on
tits
my
and a
list.
fat dick.
Whoa.
Big old fat dick.
Rabbit. Okay, so
give Bugs the pussy. Rabbit facts.
First question: do rabbits have
I do
big
have
dicks?
a whole entire. No, they don't. I do have a whole entire section on rabbit breeding. Yeah. Sorry.
So tell us about rabbits. I want to know more about rabbits.
Let's hear about it.
Rabbits. So I will say, of all the animals that I could have like gone off and like not even researched at all, and known all these different things, rabbits was not one of them. I don't have any like particular affinity for rabbits. I don't
Really?
dislike
You've
them,
never
but I
had-
just never thought,
I had a rabbit growing
so
up.
I
don't know if you. I had a mini loppy for all you rabbit heads out there.
My dad killed my rabbits and skinned them.
Oh.
Go on, I'm eating.
And I had an Angola rabbit.
I had a similar sad story. One of the first jobs I had was working at a pet store, and we trimmed the nails of several different kind of pets that would come in, and a rabbit came in, a big one. I don't think it was a giant Flemish rabbit, but it was a bigger one. And they flail, and this one kicked its back legs to the point where it ended up breaking its own back and dying while getting it a nail trim. So that was kind of I was like, oh wow, you brought your bunny in for a nail trim and it died. Like, God. So that was kind of my experience with animals, early on. So I was kind of like, I'm just gonna avoid them for the most part. So all my life I thought that they were in the category of logomorph, and as it turns out, I'd been saying that wrong the entire time I've ever existed, and it's actually lagomorph.
I definitely knew that word before just now.
By the way,
and
there's a great horror
rodents.
movie that relates to this. Night of the Lepus.
What is the terrifying mutant that strikes from behind the shroud of night? That night of the Lepus.
It's a movie about giant killer rabbits. Go on.
Interesting. So there are 102 extant species of lagomorph, which means like currently existing. There used to be 230.
Woo, go humans!
That's all humans. But then on the other flip side, domestic species, there are 305 different breeds of domestic rabbit, with the Flemish giant being the biggest at 22 pounds, and one was over 4 feet long, which, if you can imagine, like, I'm 5'7", so almost my body, like, other than my head, like, length, that's pretty long rabbit. And also, you'll find that rabbits, they are an obligate nasal breather, so they'll never be a mouth breather, only through the nose, much like horses. So their digestion only goes one way. It only goes down and through. So
you're saying you can't put food in their
Unlike-
butt, and it.
No, I will get to that.
There is a
point.
When you say it can only
Hold
go
on,
one way,
that's
I'm just
closer
like,
to
what's
reality
the other way?
than you realize. So they can only go one way in the digestion system. They cannot vomit, unlike myself. And fun fact for the podcast, which I know you guys are a big fan of, they have a smooth surface cerebrum. They're in that category of creatures with the bats, the rodents, and other mammalian insectivores. Okay, question. What would be like the grossest thing you would have to eat in order to survive? Can you think of anything?
My ex-wife's pussy.
This isn't...
You were never married.
Way to ruin the dream.
The answer is my shit. The answer
my own shit.
The answer is my own shit.
There you go. Yes, 100%. So rabbits have to
my
eat.
ex-wife's shit.
They have to eat their own shit in order to survive. It's a type of digestion it's a special poop called secatropes, which are softer than their normal palates and meant to be eaten. They have to have.
There are a couple mammals that do this, right?
Yeah,
I know that
the only
koalas
ones.
also eat their own shit.
Interesting. Yeah, they have a hindgut fermentation. So they
call it fecal pap.
Fermentation.
Hindgut fermentation.
Yep.
Hindgut fermentation. All of the digestion happens at the very base of the gut. So they have a lot of lower intestines dedicated to that. But yeah, they do this instead of chewing the cud like cows and other herbivores do. So the special poops, the little secatropes, are like high in vitamins and protein and fiber, so they can have a second chance at doing that. And they also call them the night droppings, which are so it happens primarily during the night, after several hours after they've grazed, so when they're in the burrow, in the safety of the burrow, and they don't let it like sit out and wait. They just like poop eat like immediately, like they just like a little like right there.
So
They're right
that's
on it.
really
So,
why they call it number 2.
yeah, that's what they do.
I kind of like I like how Animal Facts has turned into you and me asking our guests the stupidest questions we can think of.
I mean, like, the thing about rabbits is, A, I'm kind of afraid of them. B,
they should have bigger breasts when they're in movies.
Yeah, that too. And 6 of them.
No,
not just 2, baby.
Yeah,
you gotta have all of them. Gotta have all of them breasts.
Get all of them. Get all
3
of them in there.
things I know about rabbits. They don't taste very good.
What?
I've eaten rabbit.
Rabbit's delicious.
They're gamey.
That is a thing. You gotta do it right. There's a thing though. You have to be careful though. As a hunter of rabbits, there's a disease from animals to humans, where you can end up having a tularemia, which is also known as rabbit fever. So you have to be careful when you're skinning the rabbits, because they can.
They eat their own shit. So I mean, like they're not really like clean animals.
So you can inhale the bacteria from the skinning process and get that disease. So that's fun.
Cannot wait.
Watch out for that. That's cool.
That's
So
why they're
they have
considered lucky animals, and you should take their feet.
They do have a thing with that. There's also a thing where you can just say rabbit, 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 and on the first of the month. We missed that by a little bit, but good luck for next time.
Let's do it now.
Next time on the first of the month, just say rabbit, 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 and then you'll have good luck for the rest of that month.
Until then, I'm just doing some hind gut fermentation right now.
Exactly. Do it. Do it.
Let me
The
take
only
a little
other thing
nibble
I
of that.
have is the rabbit punch, which is how you dispatch a rabbit once it's caught by either a falcon or ferret or dog or snake.
Wait, the rabbit punch is to
kill it, like to finish it off.
Yep, right at the base of the spine. You wanna blow right to the back of its head.
I don't know why I know this, but yeah, like, isn't that called like the bishop method or something, where like you hold a rabbit upside down and you just like hit the back of their head to dislocate their spine? I don't know why I know this. I'm sorry. Facts just stick in my brain.
Daddy.
The most traumatic stuff sticks, you know?
Yeah, and like there's also like a specialized hook, right, where there's like 2 little prongs coming out of a pole, and you just kind of put the rabbit head in there and you pull.
Yep.
And that's how you dispatch a rabbit as well. Again, I do not know why I know this.
So that's all sad. However, let's get into the fun part of rabbits that everybody knows about. They fuck.
Well, we don't need that.
Rabbits fuck.
I thought that. Oh, rabbits fuck? Fuck.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Rabbits
how
be
early
getting gash.
would you think? How early would you think a rabbit goes for it?
I mean,
the legal age.
3 months. 3 months.
That is not the legal
start,
age. That is
Yeah,
that
they
is too
can
early.
start from 3 to 8
Rabbits today
months,
aren't ready
and
for
then-
sex.
Then they can
Retars.
They can go
Like, yeah, where's the
8
rabbit
months?
abstinence movement?
There is none. They can go for 8 months out of the year, every year for the rest of their 9 to 12 year lifespan. So, and they don't. The females are called right, and so the females are does and the males are called bucks. And the female isn't. They don't have cycles like humans. They instead have ovulation triggered by intercourse. So there you go. That's how that works. And then 30 days later, they give birth to about 4 to 12 babies called kits.
And then 3 months later, they're all fucking. Fucking 4 to 12 months later, they're all fucking.
Well,
Yeah. That's how you learn the
but
Fibonacci
day-
sequence is rabbits fucking.
The next day,
Math
the
facts.
next day, the female can go at it again. So the females have bipartite. I might be saying that wrong too, but it's so they have 2 cervixes. 1 vaginal canal, but 2 cervixes. Yeah. The male, just 1 penis. Sorry, very boring. However, they
need one,
they
baby.
do right, and in the testes they actually have fructose, citric acid, and minerals that come from their testes. So that's fun.
And the light of God to bring the souls of the rabbits in the world.
Yeah, to bring forth God's children, the rabbits. Oh man, rabbit facts. Fucking.
Rabbit facts.
What's your favorite way to kill a rabbit, Tyler?
Not with the little hooky.
I like to crush it with my strong hands. And like get shot by my friend because I can't stop killing rabbits.
I want.
Down the flat, we'll have a little field.
Get the alfalfa for the rabbits.
The rabbits.
And I get the tender rabbits.
It's funny because I'm the big dumb one.
No, I'm the big dumb one in this scenario. You're the Gary Sinise.
Oh, you're the Malkovich.
Yeah, I'll be the Malkovich.
Oh, yeah, rabbit
You guys
facts.
would get along well in Australia because they hate them there as much as they hate cats.
Crikey!
They call them gaswoggles down there.
Moggy bastards.
Do they really call them moggies?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What? Why?
Excuse me, Mr. Australian man. Do you like rabbits? Nar.
Moggies?
Moggies.
Moggies,
Australian
I don't
listeners,
like 'em.
defend yourselves.
Australian listeners, you're perfect and I love you. To tie this book up, Tobias flies to Rachel. They have a birthday cake. And she wishes him a happy birthday. They didn't sing, but she wishes him a happy birthday. It's a sweet little ending.
It is. I mean, they don't write the chapter where he immediately flies away and throws up the birthday cake. But
I imagine he morphed human to eat the cake. If he can morph human to cry for 2 hours, he can morph human to eat cake.
All right, that's fair.
Oh, man.
What'd you think?
What a heavy book. Shar, where are you at on this one?
Well, again, my appreciation for Tobias has grown significantly throughout listening to you guys talk about him, and it's just even more so after reading this book again. It was a lot. It was a lot.
There's a lot to this.
I think there's a lot to Tobias. I did not like this Tobias book.
Really?
And like and the reasons behind it because I feel like some of the tone was off. Like and we're retreading territory that we kind of already knew about Tobias, right? Like we knew that Tobias had identity issues, and we knew that Tobias had issues with home and self-esteem. Not the self-esteem. I think self-esteem is the wrong word. I think it's more of self-assertiveness and confidence.
Yeah,
in himself.
expressing his emotions.
Right, and you know, like we already got that story, and so like this was interesting, like retreading of that territory, I think, and there were some steps and evolutions there in that character, but ultimately it's just kind of like been there, done that. I didn't care about the main plot at all, except for the name, except for Beck. I like that name Beck, but you know, like the rest of it is all this superfluous nonsense. Like I didn't care about the laser camp, or I didn't even care about the Herpager camp all that much because they, you know, like I thought it was interesting, but it was just like, tell me more about them. Like they didn't spend much time there. They didn't spend much time at Frank's sad animal and putt-putt golf course. Like maybe that could have been the book. Like it
went
was
by very fast.
Yeah,
this is a fast book.
It is,
and part of that I think is because I liked it. I think I liked it a lot more than you did, but only because I read so deeply into the emotional state of Tobias with regards to me seeing it through the manic depressive lens. I thought that was a fairly good representation of that in children's literature, and I liked it for that. And I like that. I mean, this is Tobias, I guess, making his final choice to be the freak of nature. It's like my dad was a freak of nature, out of place in time.
Yeah,
I'm a freak of nature, out of place in time. I guess I'll just do that.
Yeah, it's like I thought we knew that.
I mean, we did.
I feel like the reveal for the Elfangor reveal could have been. It felt very fast. Like he went from not knowing at all who his father was to like boom, and then I think it was a page and a half maybe of just like, oh, this is my purpose now. I have it. Okay, thanks, Dad. Received.
I think it was
Message-
handled
message
well.
Received, and
Yeah.
it was, but it was just so fast. Like I kind of would have appreciated a little bit more time digesting it for him, like seeing him go through it and feeling like.
Was it because
almost
we
a betrayal,
knew?
Like maybe.
I think it was because we knew.
It was a big scene when I was reading it as it was coming out, because I knew going in, and I was like, it was like excitement for him to figure it out too, even though I didn't necessarily know going into the book that that's what he was going to figure out by the end.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like excited for him to know, and then he knew, and then it was like a page and a half later, and then the book is done, and I was like, I wanted half of the book to be him digesting the fact that this, and he has a newfound relationship within his own group, and all of that. Like it was very cut short after the big reveal.
I'm kind of the opinion, like I have a complete appreciation for this version of it, probably different than yours, because when I read Tobias, I read the character someone who's taken hit after hit after big hit after big hit, and this is one more big hit. He finds out who his father is, but finding that out, his father's already dead. His father doesn't know him. His father will never know him. Why would he give more thought to that when he could go spend time with his girlfriend? Where it's like, this is just one more bad thing that happened to me in a life of bad things. Sure, it's kind of cool, but it's also, well, it's hope with its head cut off.
He doesn't think it's cool. He does go back and cry behind a dumpster.
Yeah, he does cry. But it's like, this is one more awful event where it's like, huh, yeah, okay. That's just who I am. Better go eat cake.
Yeah. Is it an evolution of his character? Does he change? Is he a different person after the end of this book?
Maybe slightly, but not really, which I think is its strongest narrative choice, because I think lesser books would take this and be like, now he's purpose, now he's Star Child, but he's just Tobias.
Well, I mean, like, I just think that this should have been a book about Rachel and Tobias's relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me was the biggest missed opportunity, is that they had this on again, off again thing that nobody really talks about, but it's there, and they finally admit it, and it's just given as fact, and like we're not exploring that currently.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's almost bigger news than Tobias learning about his father, right? Because that's something that's immediate. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a bad book.
No.
I definitely I enjoyed reading it. It's just that I see missed opportunity in some of its areas. That's all.
Fair.
There's some good characterization in the dynamic between all the different characters, though. I appreciated a little bit more than in other books, like the little nods that we had of interpersonal relationships, their actual real life, like, oh yeah, homework.
Yeah, and that moment when Tobias is jealous of Marco, like putting his friendly arm around Rachel, where it's like, oh, humans can show intimacy and friendship, and I
can't touch, hug, or feel anyone.
Yeah,
I feel that.
I can't do that, and it's like, oh. So it's like, it's full of beautiful little moments and some good ones, but yeah, it needed more Rachel and Tobias.
But it's okay though, because I think since COVID is over, we can now all touch and hug each other again, and
yeah, we can do that,
and eat indoors and eat in Applebee's.
Yeah, it's okay to eat indoors.
Guys, Applebee's is open again.
It's open. Welcome back.
Guys, welcome back.
Just run in the back and sneeze all over all the food, please.
Please.
Char, welcome back. Tyler, welcome back. Nate, welcome back. And everyone out there, welcome back.
Welcome back to Animorphin Time with Nate and Tyler.
Char, is there anything you want to plug before we welcome back?
Sure. Like I said earlier, I am working on a webcomic, and you can find it at thegoldentroop.com, and it follows my misadventures in a previous life with a moody mayor, a chipper cheetah, a sulky saluki, and an eager eagle, because I love alliteration, and you can follow that all on all of the social medias. So there you go.
Yeah, get it. Get some, you fucking idiots, you dumb fucks.
And also get yourselves a nice Asian fusion bowl at Applebee's.
Yeah, those honey barbecue boneless wings.
They have
delicious.
a good
delicious.
quesadilla. And
good stuff.
Get a mudslide. I know I threatened to make a mudslide on someone, but get a mudslide.
I would say that Applebee's is thoroughly in the center of the four corners of this
Jesus,
room.
we're doing this again.
It is a mix between fighting, relationship, body image issues, and shit and piss. Right in the middle of the fuck zone. That's where you find
Fran Drescher
and Applebee's. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night and good luck.
Tip your servers.